All right.
But it's
Well,
also my turn.
I hit live. I hit start streaming. So let's see if we're actually streaming.
Nobody make any more Aerosmith vague references because I can't sing that shit. And that for some reason popped into my head. Hello, internet.
Hello. Have you seen those internet memes about how Steven Tyler is the coolest grandma of all because how he dresses?
My
That's
God.
amazing.
I have not, but now I have something to look at.
You wish your grandma was as cool as Steven Tyler.
Exactly.
Are we live?
I don't know. Are we live?
Looks like it.
You're Schrodinger's live, I
Oh,
believe.
now we're live.
Now
Schrodinger's.
we're live.
There we
Schrodinger's
go.
live.
There's that notification. Make sure to turn down my volume.
What is this, Schrodinger stream?
Get
And I
that.
actually put the right bullshit in my stream information instead of the other
No
day when I didn't
way.
hit. I didn't hit done when
all
we
good.
streamed for co-op.
The number of times we've done a co-op stream and I
And your
forget
shit's
to
been
change
wrong?
all that shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like write and chill with me, and I'm like, that's not what you guys are doing tonight.
Nope.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's episode of Decisions and Dragon. When last we left our intrepid heroes, they had boarded an airship bound for Vasselheim, meeting some colorful characters in Evander Grey Castle and his first mate, Current, along with the crew aboard the ship. You had been traveling for about a week, but as the traveling continued, you actually Faraday in the crow's nest with old Toby, my favorite NPC, noticed that there was some strange movement in the clouds. As you had alerted the rest of the crew and attempted to divert the trajectory around the clouds, you saw that the clouds started chasing the ship, and air elementals started spawning out of them. We left off last week after the first round of First round? I think it was first round.
First round of combat.
First round of combat. We now return back into the initiative order. Cadriel, it is your turn.
I will take out my Chaos Blade and swing it at the thingy.
Do it.
Character sheet, that's a thing.
Nah.
25 to hit.
Yeah, yep.
Hey Cujo,
Yeah.
did you happen to make a custom item for that whip?
Summon a bitch.
Summon a bitch?
I know what I
Actually,
said.
You're summoning them? I mean, I'm already here. You don't have to do all that work. It's
I'm
cool.
trying to give Sean credit because at one point we were talking about something and he got upset and he just went, summon a bitch. And I thought it was the funniest thing, so I have adopted it. It is not my own. No, I did not.
Okay.
24 piercing damage plus another 8 points of necrotic damage.
That's 32 total.
And then I'm gonna, bring my hand back up and try to hit it again.
Do it.
As a bonus action.
Do it. I drink my wine.
14 to hit.
14 will just miss.
Cool.
The first slash carves through the air elemental form, and you see some of the energy binding this cloud together in front of you start to fray a little bit, and it moves around your blade as you strike out for another attack. Anything for movement, or are you good?
No, I'm good. For now.
All right.
Yeah.
So, I believe the last thing I had stated before we ended last week was the
We're all gonna
clouds
die.
started to move closer. And as they do, you see two more almost wisps of cloud shoot off from this large body of air and soar towards the ship.
Rude.
Give me a second. These clouds, as they form on the deck of the ship, look to be more strangely, oddly humanoid shaped, as they almost look like they're wearing pieces of armor made of some strange material, considering that this is air. but they each have a flail that just floats in the air right next to them. First one is going to fly to Faraday. So it's 5, 10,
Oh, there you
15,
are.
Yeah, I was
20.
like,
I was like, where were you? What are you talking about?
Well,
There.
there's one right behind
What the heck is
Dorothea.
going on here?
that's cool.
All right, the Myrmidon is going to make a few attacks on Faraday.
Cool.
And by a few, I mean 3. Good. I'm really glad single digits for all of them. All right. Couple questions for you, Faraday. Will a
Sure.
10 hit?
No.
How about a
Faraday, is your
13?
AC lower than 10?
How about a 13?
No.
How about a 16?
Nope.
Okay. The Myrmidon flails at you harmlessly.
Cool.
The other one is going to move towards Arthea. And as it does, it whirls the flail in the air, and you see little bits of lightning start to course across it as it swings for Arthea.
Ah, damn.
Rude.
Will a 17 hit your AC?
Yeah.
Okay.
Is it
Uh,
just taking one hit?
For now.
Uh,
I mean, it's gonna attack twice more, but this one's gonna be a little bit special.
but it's mostly just a question of if I use shield or not.
It's up to you. It's
Okay.
got 2 more attacks after this.
Um,
I can tell you. Well,
no, don't tell.
okay.
Don't tell, don't tell. I just wanted to make sure that it wasn't like it needed to keep going on things. I will shield the first one.
Good call.
And probably take the other two. My AC is
Well,
14,
your shield,
by the way.
your shield stays through all of that, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Up
But
until
we'll-
the end of the turn.
Yeah, it'll stay
Um,
for the
Okay. So just so you know, the flail whirls overhead, and as you pull up the arcane shield in front of you, you watch this flail collide with it, and an explosion of lightning ricochets off of it. And as you're reeling back, it then whirls around to try to hit you 2 more times.
Yeah.
Just saying. Good call.
19. Yeah. 19.
That is a. Damn it! That's another 17 and a 14. Shit.
Okay, so 19 would
Alright.
be the AC.
In a brief moment of strangely both arcane and martial prowess, you watch Arathea throw up the shield and block 2 more strikes from this air elemental warrior, whatever kind.
Okay. Yeah, nope, gonna be getting the fuck out of here.
Arathea, it is your
Yeah.
turn.
Yeah, I'm gonna bonus action piece the fuck out because this is not a spot I should be in.
Okay.
And let's see, let's get over in this general vicinity. Let's go hang out by Thurston in the middle of the boat.
Good call. Good call.
Yeah, get the fuck out. Mark off that, and over in this general vicinity.
Mhm.
The area by Faraday. I am going to need Actually, no, I can't do it this turn. Doesn't matter. I'm going to take, I think, the one that is this new guy, because this guy's an asshole, and his friend shot me. And I am just going to shoot at him with Mind Sliver, and I need an int save from him.
Don't know if you know this about air elemental myrmidons. That's a 7.
Cloud folk are soup smart.
Mm-hmm.
What cloud folk did you call them?
Yeah.
Cloud folk.
Sweet, sweet, sweet. All right. So
I can't think of a more apt description of them.
it's 7 points of psychic damage, and it subtracts a d4 from its next saving throw before the end of my next turn.
Okay.
Nice.
Yes. Love it. Sounds good. Up next are the elementals. This one, if I recall, is under the effects of slow. Is that correct?
No, it was under Tasha's Mind Whip,
Got
but it already passed through its turn, so it gets its reaction back and forth.
Okay. It is going to. Let's see. It is going to move here. Dermot,
Oh.
I need you to make a strength saving throw.
Please do not throw Dermot.
Oh, I'm so good at those.
Oh dear.
Alright, new obsidian dice.
Ah.
You get to stay.
Oh.
17.
Okay.
Ooh.
So
Nice.
the air elemental shifts over, and as it does, you feel its wind energy start to pick up, and you find yourself struggling to stay on your feet as you kind of skid towards the edge a little bit. But with the help of Mako, he sort of just pushes you and holds you steady. I think that was his action. Wow, no. That's just a thing. Okay. It's going to make some slam attacks on Dermot, and we will see how that resolves. Dice, I need you to cooperate with me, though.
No.
I'll cooperate
Dice,
for
I
you.
need you to cooperate with me.
No,
Yep.
I'm your pal.
how does a 14 find you?
A 14 is my armor class.
Okay. So that will hit, and the second one was a 15 on the die.
That one will miss.
Well, fuck.
The rules are you have to hit the armor class exactly.
No, we're not
Whoa.
fighting fucking sludge.
Perfect.
Looking at you, Hughes.
Listen,
Listen.
I have no defense against it. It was funny as
How
fuck.
dare you excuse her of such heinous crimes against Durandar?
You... Dar. I love Durandar. Dermot,
Yeah.
you are in total going to take 25 points
Ooh,
bludgeoning
Fucking
damage.
rude.
as
boy.
you may be held from being flown off the airship, but in turn, you feel the wind slamming you across the deck. You are not prone, but you are just feeling the force of this thing bat you around.
How dare
Like
you?
a wind chime in a tornado.
That's fucking rude.
Okay.
I know.
He's got his hooves though. It's more like tennis shoes in a washing machine.
It's true.
Court, where have you been all my life? Now, quick, and I ask this every single time you pop your shroud, Court.
Yeah,
Does that last as long as it is in the circle, or is that just for the initial bamf?
it's just for the initial vamp, like for only until like my next turn. As long as it's in the circle, it takes that extra necrotic damage
Got it.
from me.
All right, it is going to move 5 feet. I will need Cadriel to make a strength saving throw.
You
Rude.
can't fly.
Not at the moment. Well, that's an 18, friend.
Just as you're feeling the wind swell around you, you take out one of your swords and slam it into the deck of the ship. Evander goes, "Hey, watch it!" As you're kind of like, your hair is blowing all over the place. You just hear Gladius behind you going, but you steel yourself. As you do, it then is going to continue to bat you around. All right, so it's an 18 on the die for one of them. Will a 16 hit? I don't think. it will.
No.
Okay.
Mm-mm. I'm gonna uncanny dodge that. 18.
Okay. So that is 12 points reduced to 6 because of your dodge.
Alright.
Now, this one, the last Faraday had seen, Mako had murmured under his breath, "Attack your friends." And then Mako had left. This one is going to move 5, 10, 15, 20. And it is going to make 2 attacks against its friend.
Oh.
I can't get a natural 20 on any of you fucks. But against myself, both of those will hit.
Was a natural 20 hit your armor, Mako?
Oh god! And I rolled max. I rolled max fucking damage.
Sucks.
Okay.
Good job, dice.
15, 21, 37 points with
Ooh.
that,
Fuck.
Fantastic.
and then I get to
Thank
roll
God that
damage
wasn't
for the
against
other
me.
one.
Thanks for taking
Oh
mine.
my god!
Did you
That
roll
was
max?
both max. You guys watch as the air elemental surges towards the other, and it's almost like watching two cats start fighting, where they just become fur and claws and anger, and they sort of disappear. You watch as this air elemental energy basically just gets torn to shreds, and all that's remaining is the one that was bewitched by Mako. Let's just do that. Fucking bullshit. Thurston!
Okay.
Your turn.
So
That was my
technical
most
question.
productive turn, and it wasn't against any of you. Sorry.
It was great. It was great.
That's really good.
So the original 3 fuckers,
Yes.
I believe you said that they're still somewhat humanoid. They're not wearing armor like the new set, but they're humanoid.
I mean, it's as humanoid as looking in the sky on a day where it's got nice shapeful clouds. You'd be like, oh, that one kind of looks like a dude, kind of like that, where it vaguely resembles a humanoid shape, but at the end of the day, it's still a cloud. The 2 that just showed up, those are distinctly more humanoid looking with arms and armor.
Gotcha. Would it ruin my action economy if I wanted to do a quick Arcana check? I'm trying to see if hold person, which works on humanoids, would work on the first round of thingies or only on the second.
Go ahead and make me an Arcana check. Yeah, go ahead and make me an Arcana check.
No, fuck you, dice.
I'm
It's just
really
a 10.
For 10, okay.
Yeah.
For skill checks during combat, I know the idea is that that's supposed to take up your action. For me, it's a context sort of thing. If you're analyzing a monster and you're watching it fuck up your friends, I'm just going to treat that in between the rounds you've had those few seconds to kind of gauge what's going on. If it's I'm going to do 18 backflips and I'm going to hit this guy, it's okay, it's a little bit more to that. With
Right,
a 10,
17 backflips is the max.
Yeah.
Got it.
Seriously, guys. I mean, what do you think this is? Power Rangers? With a 10, I'd say that you can kind of gauge that it wouldn't work the way that you would want it to work if you were to target an air elemental with that.
The first round of them.
Correct. Yes.
Okay. In that case, I will not upcast. I will focus on the new guy that fucked up Arathea over there.
Okay.
Or tried to, I guess I should say. And cast Hold Person on him, so he could make me a Wisdom saving throw.
That is a 16.
16 is the DC.
Okay. So I've been treating if you meet the DC, then you succeed at whatever it is. So unfortunately, you cast the spell, and for a moment, you watch the form slow and then it continues moving through the spell. Anything else on your turn, my darling?
No.
That's what I'm waiting for.
Actually,
Oh, okay.
no, just no.
All right. Sounds good. Up next is Reshi. Reshi.
Poor Rashi. Poor little guy. I feel bad for him.
Oh,
He was so excited about this trip.
What a
Reshi is going
fool.
to move rather stupidly. Yeah. 5, 10, or sorry, 5, 15, 20, 25, 30. And as he moves, you see his expression shift, and he's a little bit more focused as he keeps his quarterstaff behind him. As he gets into position, he plants the quarterstaff, mutters an incantation, and you watch his eyes glow with lightning. And he smashes the side of the lightning of the quarterstaff, and a lightning bolt courses out of the staff towards both the elemental and the Myrmidon. It also kind of courses through the crystal thing, but we'll get to that.
Oh, Reshi. Please don't sink our ship.
Alright, so the Myrmidon is going to succeed, right? What's this? I should know this. Yeah, it will succeed. The Elemental will not. So... mark off that I've used the spell, because that's what a good player should do. Team. 23, 26 points of damage. The Air Elemental is going to eat all of that. The Myrmidon is going to eat half of that. So Reshi, thinking he's finally in the moment, is going to run, cast the spell, and as it courses past the Myrmidon, it moves out of the way just as it kind of courses through its side. And you can see it react. It then passes into the crystal, which glows a little too brightly for the moment as it unleashes the energy through it. The Air Elemental eats that energy just emanating off of the crystal. But you guys definitely see a little bit of flickering going on with the crystal in the front, and you feel the airship start to kind of do one of these as its energy is a little thrown off. Reshi goes, oops. Up next is Faraday.
All right. Well, the front of the ship is not my problem at the moment. I'm sure it will be in a little bit. But I'm going to turn around and face this guy and cast Hex.
Okay.
And then try and hit him.
Do it. Do it.
That's a Miss Jackson for the first hit.
That'll hit.
Wonderful. Oh, almost max damage. So, and it's a +1 to damage as well if it's a +1 weapon.
Yes, that is correct.
6, 7, 8. So 12. 20 points of damage.
Shit. Yeah.
Second attack is a 17.
17 will just miss.
Ah,
But your
Okay.
first strike, as this thing kind of shows up behind you, you immediately go into fight or flight mode. And using the whip, you're kind of deflecting all of the flail attacks. And kind of getting used to the weight balance of this serrated blade that's so a whip. You sort of snap it, and you watch as it cleaves through where its neck would be, right under the piece of armor. And just as you hope to follow it up with another, the shield pops up and catches the the whip.
Okay.
Well done. That was a shit ton of damage for one attack.
Gotta stack
Up
those
next.
damages, man.
Up next is Mako.
Wahoo!
Mako is going to. Mako. Mako has this moment where he's going to look between Faraday fighting the Myrmidon and Dermot struggling to stay on his feet. And go, she'd kill me if I go after her. So he is going to move
Damn
5,
straight she would.
15, 20, 25 to flank with Dermot. It's a 19 on the die, which will hit. He is going to use a thing. This is Modifier. So 16 points of damage. It is then going to make a strength saving throw. It will succeed. It's going to strike again. That one will miss. But Mako's psionically powered fist does collide with the form of the air elemental. And for a moment, you guys watch this telekinetic burst fly off of it. And Dermot, as you are being batted around, for a moment, you are also affected, but then the air elemental stays in place, so it rights you back onto your feet again, as you are still just enveloped by this thing.
Okay.
Up next is Evander, who's going to look quizzically at the air elemental that's on their side, but not gonna complain. He will see that Faraday is in trouble, so he is going to move 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30.
Wait.
And he is going to make some attacks. And actually, he is going to make an attack. His second one is going to be a commander's strike. So he's going to run up with his sword and try to make one clean attack first. Let's do that. That is a 17, which will miss. But as he distracts it with his sword on its shield, he goes, now, hit it now! Oh, God! You can add a d8 to your damage if you land one.
Well, dirty 20 is gonna hit.
That it will.
So you said a D8?
Add a d8 to the damage, because it's superiority dice.
Oh,
Oh, Jesus.
okay.
Oh, Jesus.
8.
9.
15.
3.
17. 20. 17. 24 points of damage.
Jesus. Fuck. As it's distracted, you again snap the whip, and it goes right across that same spot, right at the base of the neck, and you see it react, and you hear Evander go, "Oh, I like you." Nicely done. And that was his bonus action to give that to you. Yes. Sweet. Up next is Dermot.
Okay. I'll select the right tool. Can I take a step out of its space without incurring any negative effects, like attacks of
Yes.
opportunity and whatnot?
Yes, you can.
Okay. So I'm first gonna do that.
Okay.
I'm going to... I am going to cast Green Flame Blade.
Okay.
And that is going to be. Will an 18 hit?
An 18 will hit.
Okay. So that is. Damage types don't matter, correct?
Correct.
Oh, fucking fuck. That is a total of 7 damage. 2 of which is fire.
Okay.
And I am going to go. So moving back was 5. So 10, 15, 20, 25. I'll get that attack of opportunity now.
Okay. Will a 21 hit your armor class?
Yeah, for fuck's sake, bro.
As I was saying it, I was like, he's gonna snap at me. I mean, what am I doing? That is going to be 14 points of bludgeoning damage.
Okay.
Is Dermot still standing?
Yes.
Okay.
Is he standing healthily?
No.
No. Aw.
I mean, you've only dealt, you said, I took 25 damage, and then that was 12?
Yes.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's a lot of hits.
He
These things.
looks a little real rough.
I look real rough. Yeah. So that was 10, 15, 20, 25. Do 30 feet here. Actually, no, I'm gonna go one more. 35 feet.
Okay.
And I am going to cast Healing Word on myself
Okay. Not a bad plan.
at 4th level. Because I'm worth it.
I'm sorry. It doesn't count if you don't do a hair flip, and then do a little shoulder shrug with it.
You have to look
Like
back
you're
over
a
your
hair
shoulder
character.
while you're doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so I get 13 points back.
Nice. Awesome. All right.
Finally, the end of my turn. Tick is going to go 5, 10, 20. Tick is going to stay right there.
Okay. Sounds good. Up next is going to be Cad.
I'm gonna. This is the friendly one, right?
Yes.
Okay.
He's the one with the hair.
The hair.
The hair.
And I'm gonna use my bonus action to dash, so
Okay.
right there. And then I'm gonna, hit him. Hopefully.
Okay.
$26.
Jesus. Yep. Here comes that sneak attack.
Come with a cup of dice.
Oh.
27 piercing damage and 8 necrotic damage.
So that's 35.
35, yeah.
Oh man. All right. He's up, but fuck. I was expecting him to last a little bit longer than he currently is. All right.
And yeah, that's movement, bonus action, action. Okay, I'm good.
All right.
I mean, there are like 3 fighters gangbanging him right now.
That's true. Um,
Making it from
as
all
you guys
angles, really.
are, as you guys have surrounded that one, you definitely hear this, almost as if it's shouting, but it's this. It sounds like the whistle of a wind through a barely open window as it gestures towards the other elemental and the Myrmidon. This one is going to fly up and away from you guys, so you guys will get an attack opportunity as it moves away.
I'll take it.
Evander is going to take his as well.
I'm not gonna take mine.
17's gonna miss, right?
17 will miss.
Shit.
Really?
I missed.
Anders will miss with a 14.
Damn it.
What you got, Cad? You taking it?
No, I'm not taking it.
Okay. This one flies right next to Current, and just as you think, oh shit, he's going for Current, it whirls the flail and slams it into the crystal, and you guys watch it start to flicker as now what was starting to kind of nose is now starting to get a little irregular as the crystal hits a heavy, thick crater in its side. This one, just as it turns towards Reshi, hears the whistle and then floats over. Reshi, being the teen hero that he wants to be, is going to make an attack of opportunity with a natural fucking 20.
Big damn hero, kid.
Yeah!
Big damn
Hero moment!
So it's a d6 minus 1,
Yep.
so that's 5.
Yep.
7 points of damage to that guy.
Hey!
You don't. Never mind.
This one is also going to lay some damage on that crystal. Let's see how much. I actually should have calculated damage for the other one as well, so give me a second.
Doesn't seem necessary.
Dare.
Yeah.
Not at all.
I mean, if you want, I could add that lightning thing to the first one's attack too.
Nope. Nope.
Again, I don't think these numbers are really relevant.
I'm gonna remember this when it's your turn.
From Kirsten, who's like all about the
All
numbers.
about the numbers.
Maybe we should talk about how we feel
Oh.
during this. You know,
Lightning is not part of the business plan.
That's true, actually.
Neither is falling out of the sky.
Exactly.
You guys definitely feel a more of a dip as the crystal at the front is starting to flicker a little bit more harshly. The air elemental is going to move 5. Wait, actually, hold on. It's going to move 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30.
Yeah.
I will need the spellcasters to make a strength saving throw.
Let's put it up like that.
I'm sure they're all really good at that.
Mako does get an attack opportunity. I should resolve that first. That will hit. He's going to do a thing with his damage.
you know?
Good. Really glad he's phoning it in.
Damn it! I always think that works and it doesn't. Okay.
Oh, your thing.
Yeah, I have a thing that only works on ability checks, but I only ever seem to need it when it's a saving throw.
All right. What do we got?
17.
Okay.
12. That is
What kind of
better than
damage
we
is-
expected.
What kind of
Okay.
damage is this attack doing?
One.
Oh, this is not an attack.
It's not. Yeah.
What would you consider it nature? Nature damage.
Gravity damage from falling. We'll talk. Arthea, as you watch, first off, Mako labels this thing with another hit, but it's just got enough energy to still swirl towards all of you. You
But
see
it's a
this coming.
cloud, so punching it only does so much.
Psionic damage. You plant your staff into the wood and you just hold on as the wind picks up. Thurston and Dermot. Dermot, you are all too familiar with this as you both try to stabilize yourselves, but the wind gets a little too strong. Pardon me while I look at a thing.
That's cool. I'll start building a new character.
No.
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 Okay.
Stop it.
We would get a druid out of it.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, if I have to build a new character, it 5,000% will be a druid.
It's gonna be the most balls to the wall druid too. Like,
Okay. Thurston, you are flung. 5, 15, 20. As you are flung, you are going to take only 2 points of bludgeoning damage.
Okay.
Hiya, buddy. How you doing?
Okay. Huh? What?
no.
Dermot,
Okay.
Don't go easy on me.
5, 10, 15, 20.
No!
You feel your weight shift and you are flung. And just as you start reaching, you see the edge of the ship pass in front of you as you start falling.
As a reaction, can I cast Featherfall?
What is the action economy normally on Featherfall?
Reaction.
It's a reaction.
Is it a reaction?
It's a reaction. Up to 5 falling creatures.
What's your distance to
60
cast the
feet.
spell? Fucking A. Clutch as fuck. You see Dermot, his weight goes over the edge, and just not thinking, you quickly mutter the incantation and cast the spell. And just as you're worried if it's going to land, you see him slow over the edge. So he's not plummeting, but his fall is slower.
Mm-hmm.
Well fucking done.
That should
Arathea,
oh, Jesus
it is your
fuck.
turn.
Jesus fuck. Okay, that's a problem for not this round. Okay, so we have one Myrmidon up by current, whacking into a thing. Is it like still on the ship, or did it actually like?
It is still on the ship.
Okay.
It's just basically right next to Current, just wailing on the crystal.
Okay, and we have the other one up, wailing on the other crystal, and we have this asshole who's hanging out where I am, and I'm in space, which is not cool. So, yeah. We're going to take care of the immediate problem first, and I'm going to cast Banishment on the one that came all up into my business, and I needed charisma.
Well, shit.
I don't know if you know this about air elementals, but
But they're really good at rolling natural ones.
Oh.
So
Bye-bye.
you guys hear this popping as the air elemental just disappears from sight.
Okay. And now I'm going to go, much as I really don't want to be near the edge of this here boat, I'm going to get sort of up over here, and I want to just take a look at, if I peer over the edge, can I see how Dermot's going down?
Dermot at this point has
Has he like cleared the bottom of the boat?
he's not cleared the bottom yet, but he
Okay.
is, I'm gonna say, about 10 feet down.
Okay.
The featherfall is drastically slowing the rate in which he was going to fall. So he is about like halfway railing bottom of the boat. He's like right about here.
Okay. I can't really do anything about that, but at least it's good to know.
I got it.
Yeah, he's got. Yeah, actually, I will turn to Thurston, who I know may have actually prepped for this, given our experiences with climbing and falling, and just ask, do you have things that can fly, lift, pull?
You hear Dermot shout, Like a rope?
Or a lure of some kind?
Ropes are
Levitate.
fine.
I'm done.
Right. Okay. Up next is going to be the friendly air elemental. It's going to move 5, 10, 15, 20. How far is their movement? 90 feet. Got it.
Jesus Christ.
Damn.
30, 35, 40. Whoa, not Mako. 50. And it is going to basically course over the crystal and try to like tackle. It already tried. No, it didn't do. Yes, it did. It tried to do that earlier. Let me see if it gets it back. It does not. Okay. It is just going to basically tackle and envelop the Myrmidon and lay in some attacks.
Nat 20 again?
Uh huh.
How?
I don't know.
Maybe you should like put that dice elsewhere.
And it's
Keep
not
using
even the
it.
snitch. It's just another dice. Another die. Okay. 16, 21, 23, Jesus, 30. Okay, and then the other one was a 4. Okay. So it doesn't get the second attack, but basically the Myrmidon is so focused on the crystal that it is not paying attention as its ally leaps over the crystal and almost tackles it to the ground. It is still up, but now it's kind of enveloped with the elemental. Thurston, it is your turn.
Okay. Ooh, that's the wrong thingy. So Thurston's gonna just take a step over here and cast Levitate.
Okay. All right.
I don't even have to hurt him with lightning
Yeah.
lure.
Oh no, we after the first incident, we studied.
We're like, that was not fun. There's got to be a better way.
That's right, we don't do physical exercise. We should probably figure out magic for this shit.
Dermot, you feel yourself slowly descend, and then it reverses as you are ascending at the same rate with which you were falling.
So I can move him up to 20 feet. And you said he was like 10 feet down.
He was 10 feet down, yes.
Yeah, so in theory, I can get him like essentially back over
Did you
the side.
control where he goes, or does he
Well,
just
wait, let me read.
float?
You can change the target's altitude by 20 feet in either direction on your turn.
Okay, so you can have him float up
Yeah.
10 feet, but he's not over the deck of the ship just yet.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Dermot, there's a lot of weird shit happening right now. You are now floating 10 feet above where the deck would be, but you are still over the edge of the ship. Okay. Anything else on your turn, Mr. Sorcerer?
Hanging out.
I
Literally.
could still be falling. I could just not. No, I'm just kidding.
Please don't. Faraday will do something stupid and I cannot control her actions.
Oh, that's
I mean, except you can.
no.
No, I don't have a relevant bonus action. So nope, that's it. I'm just concentrating on making sure he doesn't start falling again.
Okay.
Yep.
Sounds good. Up next is Reshi. Reshi doesn't understand the mechanics of the crystal. But, that being said, he did overhear how it generally is supposed to work, as you guys have spent a week on this ship. So, Reshi moves 5, 10, 15, 20. He kind of tosses his quarterstaff, takes a deep breath, and puts his hands on the crystal and starts pumping magic into it. He is going to spend his 1/4 level slot on this turn. And you guys can see the flickering, which was kind of going in and out like a light bulb in a lightning storm, start to normalize a little bit. It's not 100%, but it is helping. As Reshi is just focused, you see his eyes glowing white as he's got this expression of fear but determination at the same time as he's just doing what he can to stabilize the crystal. Up next is Faraday.
Having a mild panic attack, but seeing Dermot raise back up, thank God. Is this platform, like, is it up?
It goes up, yeah.
Okay, so I would have to take the stairs.
Yes.
Okay, no problem. I will do 5, whatever action economy gets me up here. Or whatever movement will get me up there.
You're good.
Cool. Let's attack the thing.
You go to swipe and Current's like, oh Jesus! Like,
25 to hit.
yeah, that'll hit.
Personally, I feel like Current's more one of those, like, does, like, the artful dodge where she just goes
Yeah.
right
Pretty
at her.
much. So 5, 11, 12, 13 points of damage on the first stack.
Okay. It is still up, but not doing well.
17 again. God damn it.
Oh. Again, you snap, and this time the whip cleaves through the armor across the back, and you see it writhe in pain. And just as you hope to follow it up with another strike, the shield arm bends back unnaturally to block that strike from left.
And nope, that's my turn.
Okay. Up next is Mako. Mako, sort of oblivious to what was going on with Dermot, is going to move 5, 10, 15, 20. Actually, no, yeah, no, he'll stay there. He'll get the advantage for flanking. It's a 19 on the die. That one was a tilt. Okay, it will hit. Oh, good. That's 13. With a 17, that second one will hit, or will miss, I should say. But he does do 13 points of damage. It needs to make a save, which it fails. You guys hear this wave of psionic energy go off, and you see sailing past the crystal 5, 10, 15. Actually, is it 15? Yeah. And it is knocked prone.
I just see this cloud monster coming towards us,
Mhm.
and I start shouting for a goddamn rope, please. You just hear Dermot, rope, 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 rope.
Mako is then going to use the rest of his movement using his flight as well. Because that was what? 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40 to essentially fly after it like a fucking superhero. Up next is Evander.
Anti-hero.
Yeah.
Just, I mean,
Mako's a superhero like Homelander's a superhero.
You know,
Maybe not
it
quite
counts.
that bad.
Yeah, I was gonna give him like angsty Deadpool status.
Funny.
Maybe like Quentin Coldwater.
Anyway, see, Evander is going to run up the stairs and go to stab and then feint just as the shield pops up and feint around with a feinting attack to try to land a hit on this thing.
It's literally about to be like, why is he fainting? What hit him? Brain.
That is an 18 on the die. What was I doing? Oh, 17. Oh dear God, it's got 1 hit point left. Next attack is regular.
Did you nat 20 again? How the the fuck?
God.
That's 3 nat 20s I've done on myself.
Why are we even here?
Yeah.
Uh,
Joe, you got this on your own, right?
Seriously. Let's go find some rum.
as it is reeling from that first attack, Evander quickly retrieves his sword and stabs down into the spot where Faraday had been slashing at it with her whip, and it sinks down, and you watch as the form just sort of dissipates and disappears from sight. Bitch. Up next is Dermot.
As a free action, can I
Yeah.
you can just grab one of the ropes. Like I assume that like we're by the mast, so there's
Yeah.
gotta be like a rope there, right? Like
Uh,
I
Is there
don't
a
I don't
rope that I
understand.
can
Thurston doesn't
reach?
understand shit.
high or low?
I mean, hi.
God damn it.
Yeah.
As you're screaming for rope, someone throw me a rope. You see a rope fly from above and land like kind of
Toby.
on your chest, and you look up, and old Toby is hanging onto
Yes.
one of the sails with one hand, his peg leg sort of like it's just flailing in the wind as he throws a rope down to you. Grab on, you stupid idiot! And he starts climbing back up
Amazing.
to get
Uh,
an extra rope.
I grab the rope.
Mhm.
Where's this rope? Where's the other end of this rope anchored to?
It is anchored towards the top of the sail. So like the wooden part of the sail.
Yeah. I mean, I have levitate cast on me, so I suppose I'm weightless right now, right?
This is true.
All right, I am just going to fucking scurry my way up this rope.
Okay. You're weightless. So it's not even like you need to make a check. So what's your movement speed? 30?
35.
35. You pull yourself 35 feet along the rope, feeling yourself soar forward. It's a little unnerving at first, but you eventually kind of get the grips of the situation.
Do I make it to the other anchor point?
Yes, I'll say you make it with the last bit of movement. You get to that point.
Okay. Cast Cure Wounds on myself. I'm gonna do this at second level.
Okay.
That is another 15 points.
Okay. You find yourself feeling healthier by a degree of 15.
By 100%, I am back up to my normal max.
Nice. There you go.
You know, that's what happens when you only have 42 hit points.
Yeah, those hits almost knocked you down, huh?
Sure did, dick.
Don't go easy on me.
I'm not gonna not call you a dick, please.
Yeah, that's true.
And then I am going to inspire Arthea.
Okay. Is there a range on inspiration?
I think it's like 60 feet.
Okay, you're good.
Yeah, 60 feet.
Okay. What do you say to inspire Arthea?
Thanks for saving my life.
Yeah, I'd say that counts.
Go
ahead.
Yeah, ability check, attack roll, or saving throw, you get an extra D8 should you wish. And you got 10 minutes.
Awesome.
All right. Up next is Cad. And actually, real quick note. It was good that you found the anchor point and/or found a rope. Because funny thing about being weightless, as you guys are on an airship, If you
The
hadn't
airship is
had a rope,
moving.
the airship would have just left and you would have just been stuck.
That's why I was calling for a rope.
Like,
We were
I can
getting
only solve
there.
so many problems at a time.
All right.
Sometimes you have to help yourself.
Problem
gonna-
1, don't fall as fast. Problem 2, stop
Don't
falling.
fall at all.
I'm gonna use my action and bonus action to move here.
Okay.
Or not my action, sorry, my movement, my bonus action.
Okay.
I'm just gonna swing at this dick.
Okay. It advantaged the hell out of this attack because not only are you flanking, but he's also prone.
$24 to hit.
Yep.
Uh, 24 points of piercing damage and 8 necrotics, so
32.
yeah.
Shit. He's still up, but he's not looking good.
And that's my turn.
Okay. Up next, it is the Myrmidon. He's going to, because he is an elemental, not quite the smartest breed, he's going to stand and is going to make some attacks. He's going to make the first one on Cad, because you just fucked his day up.
Yes, fine. I'm gonna uncanny dodge that.
Well, I rolled a 2.
No.
Oh no!
Wasted reaction.
I mean, I could say that you would uncanny dodge one that will hit you.
Yes.
So the second one though was an 18 to hit.
Yeah, that just hits.
Okay. This one, yeah, you know what? This one's gonna, no, actually, shit, I forgot. I keep forgetting to do this. Okay, never mind. Basic hit. Basic bitch hit. You are going to take 11 points of bludgeoning damage.
Half for uncanny dodge.
Yep.
So 6.
So, yeah, 6. And then it's going to make an attack on Mako with a natural 1. Fuck my life. Yeah, it's mindlessly still attacking. So, Arathea, it is your turn.
Okay, now that we solved the immediate problem at hand, looking back toward where the other one of those was,
Mm.
and the fact that the boat is moving really not in a way that boats should move, does that other pillar look similarly like cracked and hot mess?
This one, yeah, it's looking a little rough. So yeah, you see it flickering.
From
out.
working with them over the last week, would I have an idea of what would need to be done?
Yes, I will say go ahead. Make me an Arcana check with advantage, given that you have, you did kind of study up on how these things work.
Oh, that's what's Arcana is 25.
25. You recall one of the first things that the crewmate had told you about these crystals, and that is that they keep spellcasters on board to infuse these crystals with spells to keep the broomstone aloft.
That's
so,
right. The new ones don't need that. They cycle.
This is true. These are not quite state of the art by any means. Evander may have blown some of
This
his
is like
money
the
out.
88 Volvo. Like it works and it is like it's steady, but
It's functional.
yeah, it can take a beating. But
Yep.
okay, then I am going to get my butt up there to that one. I don't want to spend. I don't want to have to try and sail a boat. And that's what happens when these go down. Assuming they don't turn into shreds. So
Hundreds
think-
and hundreds and hundreds of feet in the air.
yeah. I don't think we can levitate a boat. All right, so I'm gonna just take a couple steps back from the railing because that sounds like a better place to be. And then I will Misty Step up to this area next to Faraday.
Okay. Also, Dermot, I'm just going to put you right about there, because that's where I saw your rope securing you to.
And I don't know if I can do it this turn or not.
Uh,
I can either.
I would say you have your action economy for this. That's fine. So you
Okay,
do
I didn't
have
know.
an
I didn't
action.
know if, given that it will be a spell slot, if I can do it with a bonus action spell.
I'd say if you were going to try to put arcane energy into it, that does use an action to do.
Yeah, I have my action. I just
Mhm.
normally can't cast a spell if I use my bonus action to.
Ah, that's true.
So it's
I
fine
would
if I.
say.
Fine if I can wait till next turn. That's
Yeah,
not a big
okay.
deal.
Yeah, I gotcha. I appreciate you.
No, that's fine. Good. I'm gonna get up there and yeah, I'll just start inspecting this thing.
Okay.
And in preparation for hopefully keeping it from shattering to pieces and driving us all into the ocean.
Sounds good. Up next is the friendly elemental. It's gonna move 5, 10, 15. To get its thing back. $20.
Come on.
Oh my fucking god.
Can we keep him afterwards? Can he be
Right?
our pet?
Right?
Yeah, right?
Start bringing it with us.
5,
Amazing.
15, 20.
Amazing.
Alright, it's not
His
gone.
new name is Gus.
Off of the edge.
Gus.
So it first off gets pushed that far. Then it's going to move 5, 10, 15 more feet and lay in some attacks as it's just pummeling this thing off of the edge of the ship. Like this. It's fine. Just imagine it looking a lot cooler than what I just did. Alright, one of those is going to hit. 16. Alright, it's barely keeping together, but it's still alive. Thurston, for the love of God, put this combat out of its misery. Don't make me roll another natural 20.
Wait, actually, how far away would I be from this thing? The range on this? Oh, yeah, like forever. So now that the adrenaline of, oh god, I have to save Dermot is gone, he's like, oh, I'm at the edge of the ship. No.
Yep.
Just gonna take a couple steps back, and then look at the one that we're still fighting, the humanoid one, and just cast Firebolt.
Okay.
Sorry, I can't read, apparently.
Words are hard.
Motherfucker. 17.
Ah, so many 17s. Firebolt sails through the air and just barely over the Myrmidon's head.
Did you maybe steady the ship? No, I'm just kidding.
Speaking of which, it is Reshi's turn. Reshi is going to use one of his 3rd level slots, and you guys watch as he is still intensely focused. The veins in his temples are kind of pulsing a little bit, but you can see the crystal normalize, finally, before he... That sucked. He's going to pick up his quarterstaff and just kind of lean on it. Given that that was an action, he's going to see the Myrmidon, right? Can you see that? Yeah. He's going to use some sorcery points to quicken a spell. Once I figure out how many fucking points.
Why didn't you do that?
I
You
forget I
that
have sorcery points.
points. The woes of a sorcerer.
they need to put them on the same tab as your
As the
spells.
spells.
So
They
when
really
I'm
should.
looking at my spell list, I remember they're there.
Like
They
up at the
should. They should
top.
put them at the top.
Like,
Yeah.
you know, you mark off a thing and then it
Mhm.
decreases the top with all the
Yeah.
rest of the numbers.
They should.
All right.
Anything like that,
Sure.
they really should. Like Bardic Inspiration too.
Mm-hmm.
I swear to God. If I swear to God.
Natty 20.
No, it wasn't.
Did you kill it? You killed it, didn't you? How do you want to do this?
All by himself, apparently.
How do I want to do this?
Thanks for inviting us to tag along
along,
in your
yeah.
fun.
Right?
I
This is
I'm glad you
just
decided you wanted to
teeny.
play with
This
us
is
today.
the lesson to be learned. You give you too many fucking DMPCs in this combat.
Yep.
Reshi sees the Myrmidon still trying to harry the airship, focuses the energy into his staff, and pulls fire energy out of it and sends it forward, and you watch as it collides with the Myrmidon, causing it to evaporate. Congratulations, you've survived the encounter.
Yay!
Yay!
So mad.
Nobody
Oh.
died.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah, thanks to Thurston and Arthea.
Yes.
Yeah, really.
Appreciate you guys.
Welcome. We appreciate you too.
You guys kind of gather your bearings and look and see behind the ship the storm cloud that was sending these clouds after you is kind of falling behind as more of its mass has lessened after sending all these elementals. Current picks herself up. She says, Arthea, right?
Mm-hmm.
You got that? You're good with
I
fixing
think
that?
I was expecting it. I think so.
Okay, you're gonna need to pump some of your juju.
Just good.
That's scary.
Right. Pump some of the Can I do that right now?
If you are putting energy into it, pick a slot.
4th level.
Okay, good. As you infuse the energy into the crystal, just as with the other one, it eventually normalizes. And for the first time in about 20 seconds or so, the ship, instead of dipping and weaving, normalizes.
It's a normal
Thurston.
thing. Ooh.
Thurston, I will need a Constitution saving throw from you.
Oh.
No.
I mean,
Wow.
it's been a bit bumpy.
Um,
He's got good
11.
You were fine during the combat because you had the adrenaline, you had something to focus on. The moment all the danger was gone, and you feel the shifting, which you suddenly somehow got used to in the combat, normalize, your stomach starts doing backflips in your gut. You're finding it a little hard to not yak all over everybody.
He will excuse himself.
Aw, poor Thurston.
But surely
Don't
enough,
get barf on my coat.
I can prestidigitation it off.
no, but with a coat like that, I mean, you can't forget that it had vomit on it, Evander says, sheathing his sword.
Exactly.
Yeah, once you know, you know.
Mm-hmm. You know where it's been.
Blood you can get out. Vomit is forever.
This is true.
That's not how that works.
I don't think that's true. German says as he gingerly climbs back down the rigging.
Current says, you've clearly never been with us when we make landfall.
Are we going to do that, or is this a thing that's going to happen more?
We'll keep a sharp eye. Toby! Stick up there. Let us know if you see anything else. And you just hear, blah! Just from above. No words, just shouting. Alright, I think he's cool with that. But, thank you guys for keeping the ship safe and saving us. That was cool.
I mean,
Everybody good?
as good as can be. I mean,
Yeah, how is everybody feeling?
Good.
Does anybody need healing at all?
I'm a little sore, but I'll be okay. And I bamf my shroud away.
Oh yeah. Just walking around with it.
Current eyes you a little bit with the shroud.
From wherever like the closest bathroom is, Thurston just yells, "I'll be fine!"
Oh, but
As he's mostly just like, he hasn't puked yet, but he's mostly just kind of like, you know,
Like
when you
dry
know it's
heaving?
about to,
Yeah.
and you just kind of like sit there.
Yep.
He's got like his hands
herself.
against the walls, like,
Mhm.
Yep.
Coming.
yup.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm having flashbacks.
Flashback of what? Being seasick?
To throwing up.
Seasick. Yuck. No.
Yeah, it's not
The
fun.
worst.
Things seem to normalize after about an hour. Crew kind of works on making sure that the crystals are in tip-top shape. The ship didn't really sustain much of any damage. It was really just some of the crew and you all. But things finally seem to normalize. I'd say after about the hour, I'd say that would be enough for Thurston to have evacuated his bowels. But things seem to be on track.
What kind of day is it?
At this point, it's getting to be a little after midday.
So how many days out are we? I say to, I guess, Current, who I'm assuming, for some reason, I'm just assuming that she's the one who's kind of navigating.
Current says, well, with that minor detour, we're about 3 days out. Shouldn't be too much else hitting us, but apparently you never know.
Okay, 3 days. So where does that put us?
What do you mean?
And she kind of points down. What's down there?
Well, it's the Osmond Sea right now.
Okay, just the sea.
Yeah. I mean, you can probably see something. She kind of gestures to the front of the ship. You can probably see some very, very, very distant spit of land. But we've still got a little bit to go, so.
Okay, so if more of those things come out of the clouds, it's not like there's a place to land around here.
Not that's not in the open sea. Which, to be honest, would be irritating, but not the worst set of circumstances. It would just lengthen our trip, assuming we don't, crash the ship and all of us die and none of us gets to Vasselheim.
Yeah, we're gonna try to avoid that part.
Thurston got like to the top of the stairs at that moment of the conversation.
Right back down.
And we're not actually doing that. We're avoiding that part.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
At some point during the journey, I would like to seek out Faraday, if that's okay.
Sure, go for it.
Is anybody else around you, Faraday?
No, probably not. She's probably been like kind of just pacing the deck a little bit.
Probably
Oh,
somewhere at the
restless.
front of the ship if you want to avoid me. I'm gonna, because now that we have this wonderful, assumingly peaceful thing, at least at night, I'm gonna spend some time on the front of the boat, staring up, kind of laying back.
Like, even though we've been, still traveling as a group, I feel like Cadril's probably been avoiding Faraday a little bit. She looks around kind of awkwardly and just kind of comes up to you and she's just like, hey.
Hey.
Nice, your new whip's doing some nice damage. Awkward.
Yeah, I'm still getting used to it. It's heavier than my usual one.
Just, are we good?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, yeah. Unless... I guess.
I don't know, when I told everybody everything, you looked at me in a way that it seemed like you wanted to say something. You never did.
It just caught me off guard. It's a bit hypocritical, I guess, being angry about it.
The feeling you were. A lich god is a little worse than an archfey, I suppose.
Not if you ask the Archfey.
They seem to think a lot of themselves.
They definitely do.
I don't know. I didn't know that the amulet was magical. I mean, look, if we really want to blame somebody, we could blame Arthea for that. She knew I had it, but she's obviously kidding. I don't know. I wanted to make sure we were okay. I held off telling you for a long time because I was worried that you all would ask me to leave, and I really like traveling with you.
Had if I was going to ask you to leave the group because some egomaniacal superpower was stalking you and wanting you to return to their good graces, I would be packing my bags alongside you.
Yeah, but I don't know it. I went to Marquette willingly. I just didn't know what I was getting into.
But you left.
Truthfully, I left because I took Arthea with me because I was worried that if I left alone, they would try to hurt her. I don't know. I just had to make sure, even though it's probably been too long, this conversation coming, but
Yeah, I mean, I was mad at first, but it was short-lived. We're fixing things. That's all that matters.
you just have to find Gilmore. Hope that we can get him back in one piece.
Here's hoping. And she'll pull out one of the she'll actually pull out the new potion bottle that she has and think for a second, and you watch as it turns a beautiful gold brown color in the liquid. And she'll pull the stopper, take a drink, and hand it to you.
Take a drink. Sit.
It's not the honey mead, it's just ale, but
Wow. Should have got one of those.
yeah, I think it'll come in handy for us at some point.
Yeah, I mean, should get Dermot a parachute to wear.
Gonna be a bad idea.
Wear it like a backpack. Picturing Dermot with his like Dora the Explorer backpack. Anyway, I'll let you. I don't really know what you're doing. I just.
Wasn't really doing anything.
It's kind of boring on this ship, right?
Well, it's nice up here though. It's quiet.
Yeah. So I just prefer my feet on the ground. I'm sure Thurston would agree.
Yeah, he doesn't seem to be taking too well to this.
I mean, to be fair, he did fall down a cavern and then another cavern.
Hmm.
He falls kind of a lot.
The both of them do.
Perhaps
Yeah.
it's Thurston you need to get the parachute for. You hear Mako say
Jesus.
behind you.
Holy. Hmm.
You aren't exactly making yourselves scarce while you have your conversation. I just figured I'd chime in. Oh, I'm sorry. I threw off your vibe. Please continue. And he saunters off towards the lower decks.
Rarity
He's
sticks her,
such an asshole all the time.
she sticks her tongue out at him.
He doesn't even turn. You just see this.
Yeah, he's pleasant. At least he's on our side
Ish.
for now.
I don't know. I think he's on your side. I think he'd throw me to the wolves if he was given choice.
I don't think he'd throw any of us to the wolves if given the choice.
I don't know. I did call him Michael for a while. Whatever. Anyway, you want to go see if we can find a bottle of rum that Mako maybe hasn't drank yet?
Let's do that.
All right. You guys make your way looking for some rum to party with. Thurston, Arathea, and Dermot. What are you guys doing?
Eyeing myself to that rope.
Is it what time is it at the moment? Is
At
it
this
midday?
point,
Is
it's
it
been
night?
about like an hour and a half, so it's still right about midday, a little past midday.
Okay. Probably would have gone downstairs to sit down and just take a breather. Yeah.
You definitely feel that your hair is just.
It's a lost cause. I'm not even gonna try at this point. It just kind of. It's that she pulled it back and did that kind of like literally tied it in a knot. Just
Oh.
deal with that later.
Ugh.
It looks rough, and it's just there are so many problems right now, and it's just not on the radar. And then she's just take some time to just chill, maybe take that nice hour, get back some spell slots, be real nice.
There you go.
Yeah. So if anyone wanders downstairs, they'll probably just find her on I'm assuming. What does the hold of the ship look like? What's down here?
There are a few barrels and crates of pretty much standard supplies. Nothing really out of the ordinary. Make me a perception check though.
Uh-oh. It's never good. 6 now. 23.
23. You can spot that there are some clear spots where the crew has found ways of curling up and sleeping when they should be on duty. Basically, with the placement of certain barrels and crates, they've made little forts for themselves where people couldn't easily see them if they were, I don't know, taking some time off to have a bottle of rum or what have you. But there is one particular barrel that looks a little older than the others. It looks like at one point it was maybe something that carried some fancy meat of some kind. but you can see it's a larger barrel with several chairs of different sizes and shapes that surround it, with a looks like a not parchment, cloth bag, sort of with a tie at the top, sitting on top of this barrel.
There's nobody. Is there anyone else down here?
There are some crew members that are milling about, kind of getting their duties taken care of. You definitely spot one of them, as they think they're being so sneaky, crawling behind one crate to disappear for a while.
Kind of looks around. Sees the chairs. Migrates over to the chairs because he just wants to sit down at the moment. And spends about an hour having an internal debate on whether or not she should, like, is this a see something, say something type situation? Like, I don't know what this is. Could be someone's. Do we go into people's things? I mean, Kat goes into people's things all the time, but I know it's not like a thing you're supposed to do. And just eventually, like, kind of peeks to either side. Is there anybody walking about?
I'll let
This
your
guy
perception
wandered
check
behind
ride.
the thing.
You don't see anybody else in your immediate vicinity.
Really quickly, just
All right. Peering inside, you can see it's a little dark on the inside, but you do reach in, and you pull what look like teeny little pieces of bone that have numbers on them. It's at this point, Evander starts kind of wandering by, and he sees you. Oh, are you a player? Oh, I'm sorry. Do you need a moment? I didn't mean to. You
Yeah.
seem really deep in thought. I could just.
no. A player.
Yes,
What?
it's a game we heard of. It's called Bunions and Flagons. It's quite entertaining.
So
Did you say bunions?
Yes, I did.
as she stares at the bone, looking to see if there's like a little piece that kind of juts off to the side. So how does this work?
Well, it's a delightful game. It's like storytelling or something. I'm well, I must say I'm particularly the best at it. But basically, you sit around a table, you tell a story, pretending you're somebody else for a while. It's a great time way to pass the time.
Hmm.
Sounds dumb.
Sounds nerdy.
Gosh. So you just pretend to be somebody else, and that works.
Oh yes, takes you out of your day-to-day stress and puts you in the shoes of whatever hero you wish to embody. Or maybe it's an accountant. I don't know. You do you.
I'm not. No, that's more Thurston style.
I did.
Who's Thurston?
Fellow who's not doing so hot with the ship motion.
He's been Zaz this whole time.
He's. Where is he downstairs? I thought he was in a bathroom.
Thurston's been
He's
my sister.
disguised
Yeah.
as Court's sister this entire time.
Has he been?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Oh, I was. I mean, I'm not one to judge. Is Thurston her last name, or?
Nickname.
Ah, go ahead and make me a deception check real quick.
Yep. It's gonna be pretty bad too. What do I do for deception? Nothing. 8.
8.
Yeah, no, she has no poker face whatsoever.
He. You see the cogs in his brain start to turn, and he goes, "Oh, I didn't mean to draw. If that's the former name, I don't mean to draw attention to it. Zaz is perfectly fine. I apologize for assuming. I didn't want to cause any disrespect. Anyway, Bunions and Flagons is a quite a fun game. You should try it sometime."
look at the others for that. And she's just trying to figure out what the fuck he's talking about.
I'll say at
But-
this point, Faraday and Cadriel have made their way down looking for rum. We'll say that you guys hear that little chestnut.
What are you talking about?
Bunions and flagons. It's a fun little game. So me and the crew play sometimes. We heard it off of a some Goliath fellow. I forget his name.
Play a game about foot bumps?
You pretend to be other people.
Yes, it's like acting or role playing, whatever you want to call it.
I think I've had enough of that in my lifetime.
I kind of gathered from your expression. Anyway, I will leave you to it. And then Evander will awkwardly shuffle away.
Very strange.
You know, I think Dermot would like that game.
They're
Probably.
probably really good at that game.
Arthea, me and Faraday were thinking about getting drunk. You want to join us?
Sorry, were you talking to me?
Nope, Arthea.
Just,
Okay.
just sets down the bag of bones.
I'm sorry, I was momentarily distracted.
Sets down the bag of bones. Yes, I would like to get drunk.
Look around for a bottle of rum.
Doesn't take you too long. Eventually, as you guys continue searching, you just see Arthea behind the crate. A hand with a bottle just sort of appears into view and just places it on the crate and then just disappears behind, out of sight.
Oh, good. I was about to rob Mako of his.
I mean, that might be his, honestly.
Sucks for him. And I'll just uncork it. Take a swig that's probably like a shot or two, and then pass it to the left.
Sounds good. Speaking of Dermot, what is Dermot doing, Dermot?
Everybody went below decks.
Yes.
Right. Yeah, I'll follow. It is clearly safer down there than it is tied into the rigging.
We'll say before you do make your way down there, you are approached by Reshi, who says, hi, sorry, I didn't mean to do the, lightning into the crystal thing. That was, kind of my bad there. I hope I
Oh, that was I hadn't noticed. Is that why we were doing one of these?
he looks a little guilty. It may have been the cause.
I don't think so. I am pretty sure whatever that cloud creature was, took a liking to me that I did not appreciate.
Oh. Well,
Unless you summoned those cloud things.
No. What? No.
And I just give him just like a big shit-eating grin.
You know, I get that was a joke, but it's kind of racist as he, steps away.
He's an Erganasi.
Yep.
My God, Dermot, you can't just
It's just
ask
ask
people if they
people if
summon air elementals.
Reshi goes and, finds a spot. He'll actually stay up near the helm.
That connection likely goes completely over Dermot's head. That was clearly not his intention, but he's like, what? Yeah, that was obviously a joke. Thought that was pretty clear and obvious. You obviously wouldn't have done that. And he'll just go below decks.
All right. Anything you wish to do in particular, or just kind of hang
That
out?
Reshi kid is kind of weird. He's got no sense of humor. Not particularly. If everybody's drinking, I will certainly partake.
Okay.
Actually, if we're drinking, I am going to go go to Faraday and say, "Hey, can I see that amulet that I gave you?"
Sure. And she'll
Cool.
pull it out.
I grab an empty bottle and do some hand wavy artificer magic bullshit
Very.
and replace
Detectable
my clockwork amulet artificer infusion with the alchemy jug infusion.
Wait, so you just took her amulet and then you're like, no, I want a drink?
And then I give her the bottle.
Oh. Got it. All right. Thurston, what do you find yourself doing now that your stomach is sufficiently emptied?
He'll probably, once he realizes, like, oh, Current didn't give me a job. So he's just gonna, like, leave so he doesn't get a job. Like, I imagine in the last week, Current has probably, like, tried to assign him several different things. And every time she's like, why? How did you not accomplish this? I don't understand how you messed this up. And
Why
so
are you so
I just needed
bad
you
at
to fold
everything?
the spare sails. I just needed you to fold them.
I've never folded anything before.
Need to swap the deck?
I would have you
Wait, swap the
but
deck?
I'm a little convinced
it with
that I don't
what?
think you'd be able to do that either.
Yeah,
You
I
know
don't
what?
think I've ever mopped anything before either.
You know what? There is a bad rat infestation below deck. I need you to let me know how many rats you see each day down below decks. At the end of each day, just so we can kind of keep track of our stock of inventory of rats.
Inventory?
Mm-hmm.
I
Current is giving you a look like.
So just go below. Okay. Okay. And he'll just walk away. And he's thinking, I offered to do all of the paperwork for you. I told you out the gate. Don't trust me with anything other than that. Didn't believe
I'm
me.
good at paperwork and nothing else.
So yeah, he'll make his way downstairs and then probably inevitably stumble across the impromptu party.
Question for the lot of you. Do you get drunk around the Bunions and Flagons barrel?
Probably not drunk.
No, but I am probably providing musical support to their game.
Awesome. We'll say that as the night goes on, you guys are getting a little loose with the assistance of the rum, alchemy jugs, what have you. You are joined by a few crew members and Evander. As you all relax, spend some time with one another, enjoy each other's company, which is a welcome respite from the terrifying experience that you guys may have had earlier in the day. For the sake of time, go ahead, Thurston.
Sorry. One, Thurston is not drinking. He doesn't trust his stomach right now. But he'll look at Arathea and like the knot that's on her hair, on her head, and be like, "Do you want me to take care of that? I have 3 older sisters.
Actually, if
kind of used to it.
If you know how, it's really difficult to reach sometimes. Honestly, I feel like I should maybe get it cut.
No, it's really pretty the length it is. But yeah, that's why my sisters would always tell me to come help because they would say it hurt their arm. So yeah, I can do that. So while everyone else is drinking, he's just gonna like slowly like start at the bottom, work his way up to get out all the knots and tangles.
I need fan art of this. I need fan art of the whole group playing Bunions and Flagons, and while Thurston is brushing out Arathea's hair, I need this scene drawn for us.
Evander definitely kind of like like shifts next to Faraday as that is happening. It's like across the barrel. And while other conversations are going on, Evander's just gonna go.
And she just like looks at where he's pointing and goes, no. No. No.
Hmm?
I mean, fuck it.
I'm
Honestly, I have no idea.
I'm just saying that little line about it looks beautiful, the length that it is, and reassuring. I'm just saying. I might not be the smartest fellow, but I am a little perceptive.
I'm sitting right next to Faraday for this one.
I'd say, yeah, you're on the other side of Faraday.
I just turn, and I'm like probably like tipsy at this point, and I'm like, "You and Current? Are you making tornadoes together? Whatever you do?"
In my dreams. And he takes a shot of rum.
Is Current around?
No, she is still on deck. She's ever the
She's
worker.
probably working.
Yeah.
She's working.
The only member of the crew still fucking working.
Yep. Current, I feel like, and Sam, you can tell me if this is wrong or not. Current, I feel like, is the one that they have to like convince at the end of the night to like go get some sleep, because like it's okay, the ship is gonna be fine, everybody's okay. Go get some sleep.
When they're sailing, definitely.
Yeah.
When they're in port,
Oh, she's just as
that's
bad.
rough. Yeah, she's
Yeah.
just as bad as he is.
Yeah.
But when they're sailing, she's all business.
I'll like pour some rum in a cup, and like grab like a nearby fruit or something, and just be like, maybe you should take her a snack and a drink, and she'll
Oh, you want me to try this one? This method? Do you want to know what happened last time? Hey, you know what?
I mean,
No.
I could take it and see what happens.
I've got you. I will show you. He takes the fruit in the cup. And I'll be right back. Now, Evander's also a little tipsy. Keep that in mind. So as he makes his way towards the stairs, there's definitely some Jack Sparrow swaying back and forth before he stabilizes. Disappears up the stairs.
I sneak up the stairs behind him because I really want to watch what happens.
I sneak
I'll roll stealth if
whatever
you want me
fruit
to.
that was. I've now reached over to take some of it. I mean that
It's probably like a kiwi.
Yeah.
yeah,
like
whatever that is. I'm just grabbing one too because the minute she pulled it out, I just was like, "Wow, I'm hungry."
You got okay. If you guys are sneaking up, both of you make stealth checks. Pretty
I'm
much
not sneaking.
anybody who's sneaking up to be a part of witnessing this, make a stealth check.
Are we all sneaking?
Fucking
26.
The whole group just migrates and pokes its head up the thing.
Yeah, I'm going
Poking around a
to.
door frame where he's like,
Yeah, uh-huh.
Miss Jackson.
Oh, I don't do stealth.
I have advantage on stealth
I've
checks
changed
now.
my music. I know. Okay, I'm gonna roll perception to.
Can you please play us some stealth music?
Well, if I see you guys start to stealth off, it's gonna be some do 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 do
Yes.
do do do.
denim.
I don't stealth. That's not a thing.
Perception. Did anybody roll under an 18?
For what?
I see
For
Thurston.
stealth.
Stealth.
Oh yeah, yeah. 11.
Oh yeah, I love it. Yeah. So
He's still trying to do my hair. As we
I almost got it. Oh my god.
Wait,
Cujo, what is the what is the story that they're telling with their game?
oh,
I don't think we were playing. I think we were just sitting around talking.
yeah, you guys were kind of sitting around talking. Some of the crew members started to play a little bit.
Yeah.
You did catch bits and pieces. They're
No,
talking.
I'm playing musical accompaniment for their game.
Got it. The game starts in a tavern. The person running the game is got some big old glasses that look like basically like the bottoms of
Oh,
bottles that have been like framed into glasses. They are terribly telling the setting for their beginning area, and eventually some hijinks happen, and oh shit, there are orcs, and they're fighting orcs. Like it's not a very well run game. You're pretty convinced that even the person running it doesn't even know all the rules.
After I play the stealth music to get to the rest of the group upstairs, I lean over to the leader, the storyteller, and I say, "What is this game called again?"
I have to figure out how to do a Matt Mercer impression. It's called Welcome everyone to Bunions and Flagons, where a bunch of us nerdy ass pirates sit around and play Bunions and Flagons.
There's gotta be a better name. Why don't you call it like I appreciate what you're trying to do with like the catchy name or like the alliteration or something like that. Why don't you call it something like Bugbears and Bar Fights?
You see he steps away, grabs a pad of paper, and marks that down. Thank you. And he starts writing.
I tip my hat to him.
And writing. The game essentially stops as he's struck by a moment of inspiration. What was everybody's stealth checks again? I know Thurston had an 11.
11.
Okay.
Dirty 20.
26.
26. Dermot, just go ahead and roll for me. I'll say with disadvantage because you're doing stealth music.
Oh, roll performance?
No, roll stealth.
Oh, I'm not stealthing.
You're not trying to be stealthy? Okay.
No,
Okay.
I'm not
He's not
stealthing.
coming.
I'm just playing music.
He's just playing downstairs.
So you guys peer around the corner as you see Evander, Kiwi, cup of rum. Walk up, and as he does, he kind of hears something and turns and see get like the fucking Brady Bunch. Your head's just like peer around the door frame. He rolls his eyes and walks up. Given the wind that's coursing through, it's a little difficult to hear voices, so I will need perception checks from all of you.
17.
Okay.
19.
Okay.
I think it's just
19.
sure. Dirty 20.
Two in a row, Sam?
Yeah.
With a 20,
Cujo,
yes.
a not impressive but respectable 14 for performance.
Got it. You are satisfyingly playing a song that would accompany a stealthy party
Yes.
rather well. With a
Super Mario World 1 Level 2.
20 or above, you can hear the conversation. And it goes something like this. Evander, Current hasn't stopped keeping an eye on everything. She is very much focused on everything about the ship. She's using her every sense to make sure that everything is running well. Evander approaches and says something like, you look like you could use a moment to relax. Brought you some drink. And you see Current just reaches, grabs the rum, shoots it, takes the kiwi, and starts biting into it. Thanks. And you see he's holding the cup. It's a nice evening, isn't it? What? Never mind. Just don't work all night. We have crew for this sort of thing. And then he half sulks as he makes his way back towards the stairs, holding the cup as he passes all of you and just goes, "Say, in my dreams," and then starts walking down the stairs.
Didn't you ask her to, if you could help her navigate and steer, if she wanted a co-pilot?
Do you realize the death that I would face if I suggested that she wasn't skilled enough at the helm?
Ask her if she wanted some company. You're kind of bad at this, aren't you?
You know what? I don't like you very much, and he continues going back down
Aw.
towards the rum.
It's okay. We like you a lot.
Thank
I
you.
mean, it's fine. I could probably go talk to her.
Please don't. It's fine as it is. It's fine because we are captain and first mate. We are.
But you want the mate part of that, right?
Get not so loud. He kind of like shushes you.
He's
as
not
some
even
of the other
paying
crew members
attention.
are around.
Are there rules against it? Is it one of those things where like you can't?
Listen, I appreciate, and for the first time, Evander is 100% like serious. I appreciate your offer of assistance. The way things are right now are as good as they're going to get without something changing or getting fucked up. So I appreciate that you are willing to offer the assistance. But if anything were to change, I would most likely have to find a new first mate, or I'd be dead.
You
because I
see
don't think
that?
it would.
That right there. Do that there. And I point back.
I just finished saying I don't want anything to change. It's fine right now where it is. We have our lanes. They are
Is it
mostly
though?
together.
You said in your
Fine.
dreams you and Kurrit would make little whirlwinds together.
Yes, everybody has little pipe dreams that they like to pay attention to. I, despite what you all may think of me, am a little bit of a realist in this one instance. It's not going to happen. I value your encouragement and your reinforcement of the fanciful star-crossed lovers, but it's not going to happen that way. I'm fine with the way things are, so this is the way things will be.
I reach out and pat him on the shoulder,
I appreciate it.
and then I go over to Kurrit.
I hate.
Oh, it's easier if you just let it happen.
I'm gonna go.
She's
find-
surprisingly good at this.
You know what, Sam?
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna need you to take off your Faraday boots for a moment,
Faraday boots.
and I'm gonna need you to put on those current shoes.
Okay.
Wait, before you do that, Dermot goes over to Faraday and says, you know, in light of everything that's just happened, and I point to the bottle that I've given you. Can I borrow that?
She takes a swig and then hands it over.
What did you fill it with?
What are my options?
Beer
beer and wine?
Mayonnaise.
Oh god,
Mayonnaise,
no!
beer, water.
Your
No!
options are acid, basic poison, beer, honey, mayonnaise, oil, vinegar, fresh water, salt water, or wine.
Poison. And she just falls over dead. No. Probably beer.
Beer?
Yeah.
Excellent. You get 4 gallons of beer. And I take the bottle, I find 2 glasses, and I take them topside.
Yeah.
Verity's just thinking in her head, thank God it's not me they're fucking with.
Evander is like at the doorway where the staircase leads down to the lower deck, and he's just glaring in Cadriel's direction as she starts making her way towards Current.
Verity
Current.
just kind of pats him on the shoulder.
Current,
Yeah.
I rolled your perception for you earlier.
Okay.
You noticed several of them peeking their heads around the corner, but it's up
Yeah.
to you whether or not you wanted to focus on it.
Little busy. And assuming that they all abandoned their posts, so I'm assuming they are drinking and fucking around, so just let them have their fun. They fought valiantly this afternoon.
Valid points.
I will, on my way over, I'll take out one of my bottles of honeymead and just kind of like pop the top off since the rum's back down below. And I'll just go up to Kurt and be like, hey,
Hey.
you don't want to come take a break?
Little busy flying the ship.
I mean, we have
Yeah,
Reggie. He's
isn't there
quite eager.
isn't there supposed to be like a night shift that's more than just one person?
Dermot says as he walks up with two beers.
Oh no, it's the bottle into two
Oh,
glasses.
got it.
Yeah, what
Uh,
happened to the night shift?
I'm letting them rest. You all had that fight, and we had a bit of a scare. I'm letting
Yeah,
them
but
rest.
when do you get to rest? I mean, you gotta have some fun too.
I'll rest when everyone's done having fun.
And Evander,
What about Evander?
you just let him kind of. I mean, he's the captain.
Hence why I take the responsibility. Do you really want Evander driving this ship right now?
I mean,
So
Gross.
glad that we both understand the dynamic between the two of them.
I get it. I understood the assignment.
I'd rather play drinking games with you. He's a little flourishy.
He's a weird dude.
Yeah,
I like him.
He's got his quirks, but
it's like on a scale of 1 to 10. Would you say that, 1 being like, leave me the fuck alone, and 10 being like,
Whirlwinds. And I look pointedly at Cad.
exactly, whirlwinds and hearts and stars and let's be mates in real life. Each other's first mate.
Oh.
Ah.
Cad, what the fuck was that?
I'm going to need both of you to go back downstairs and leave me the fuck alone.
No. We brought you a drink. You deserve some downtime too, and I'll reach out for one of the cups from Dermot.
I take Cad's wrist and lead her back downstairs and
Wait,
say,
what?
I leave the bottle and say, we're sorry to have bothered you. I apologize for my absolutely zero tact friend.
She just stands there like she reaches out and she takes the bottle and just shakes her head.
There's more in that than you think.
You should really get a
Sucks.
drink with Evander. Just saying, make him take you on a date. As Dermot is leading me away. I just
What
him
the
shouting.
fuck is wrong with you?
You ask that as you finally turn to start heading down the stairs, and Evander is just...
At least you noticed I was standing there. Just saying. And I'll kind of skip back down the stairs to go have another drink with Faraday.
Faraday is dying. Dying right now.
It could have been worse. I thought Cad was gonna try to seduce her for herself.
Yeah.
Thought about it for a
I'm
second.
sure that
but-
could have been worse.
Halfway through that, I thought it was going different.
And I just shout back up the stairs. Thought about it. Not in the mood.
The night passes. The night passes, as does the next night. The final day of travel. And at this point, you can see the land below. And you can see the mountains that make up the... Oh shit. Heaven's Stair. And just as the clouds kind of part, you can see the sprawling city of Vasselheim laid before you. It's clear that the orders to Evander and the crew were to bypass the standard port and take you directly to the city, where there is a makeshift platform that you could use, theoretically, upon entering the city. A few more hours go by, so you are essentially hitting the border of the town at about midday. But eventually, the you can see on this mill that there is this large cleared stone platform with not a whole lot of organization. You can see a couple haphazard crates, some other sort of random supplies that look like at one point were spread out amongst this platform, now have been moved aside, having received communication that someone was arriving. The airship slows, and you can see the crystals dim a little bit as it does, as current, through communicating with everybody else, basically everybody's shouting kind of directions and how the close and blah, 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 before eventually the airship kind of lands with a light thud that sort of shakes through the rest of the ship. You find yourselves in Vasselheim.
As we begin our approach, before we land, I am going to use the cup and scry on Gilmore.
Okay. You perform the same incantation as before, and you can see the water shimmer. And again, the view that you have that shows up in the reflection of the water is of the mountaintops in the distant northwest, that you can see the city as a little bit of a dot in the distance. So you know you do have some hefty travel ahead of you, but it has not moved. It's not like it's showing a different location.
I can't see Gilmore.
You cannot see Gilmore.
I'm just... Okay.
So remember, the scrying portal gives a general idea of the last known location of the target that you're scrying on. It's not a true scry. It's not like you can see the person themselves sitting there doing whatever. It gives you a general idea of where that person is.
Okay.
You know, based on, where you can see the giant golem that is frozen in place, that it is northwest of the city in the mountains.
Okay.
Before we disembark this skyship, I want to find Current.
Okay.
Just to have a quick conversation that probably am not going to have a chance to have again.
Okay. You find her as she
Patiently, as I wait very patiently, someone died.
Yeah. You actually see the moment that the ship lands and the crew starts doing their processes of securing the ship, making sure everything's tied down. You see that very, business focus. We have to get this shit done. Kind of got, lifted from her shoulders as she kind of relaxes a little bit. You know what, Sam? Take it away. What am I doing? I know that this is unorthodox. I know I should just RP the character, but fuck it. You're the best Current here because you are her. So.
Seeing that Current now is slightly less, still just as frightening actually, but really frightening. I'm gonna walk up to her and just be like, do you have a moment?
She looks around at the rest of the crew actually working and says, yeah, just a minute. What's up?
So we're about to trek off into, honestly, I'm not entirely sure what, but I was thinking when we were traveling, how do you navigate when you're going that long of a distance over the ocean?
Oh, and she'll point up the stars.
What do you use? Is there a specific one that you use to get back and forth?
Cujo, I assume that there is a North Star kind of thing.
Yeah.
Are there...
the constellations are obviously different than ours, and there are, I think, multiple moons, if I recall.
Ghost moons.
Two
one
moons.
of them is pretty useless because it's, not useless. One of them's shady. One of them's really shady. The other one is totally normal. One of them may or may not be a moon. The other one
pretty bright, causes
It's a
the
Death
lovely
Star?
stuff. Possibly.
I'd say through the use of
The usual.
the moon, the usual stuff. I mean, that the stars combined with the placement of the moon is typically what helps them maintain their course.
Yeah, a couple tools that Evander and I have collected over the years, but for the most part, just following the stars. They don't seem to lead us too off track, anyway.
Okay. Just figured before we start wandering to the northwest, that I have a theory rolling around in the back of my head, and I wanted to make sure that that actually would work.
The stars at night, the sun during the day. The sun always sets in the same general location. So if you
But
follow,
it's predictable.
it's predictable. If you're following it the same, I assume the sun rises and sets in the same direction.
It doesn't just.
Listen, Mercer did some wacky shit, okay?
It rises in Quarth and sets in Zorth.
Yeah, exactly. The man
Only on
redid the
days
whole
with
calendar
32
system.
months.
Yeah, exactly. But no, just if you're heading northwest, then you're just gonna keep pretty much as long as you wake up with the sun.
You just put it. But you can use the stars when you're sailing to different ports to figure out where you are and where you need to go.
Correct.
Kind of pinpoint where you are. If you get off course, if it's cloudy or something, you can kind of use that as a reference point, correct?
For the most part. Sometimes if it's too cloudy for too long, we may get a little off course, but
you can correct it back. Okay. That sounds promising. And if you wanted one of those device type things, is that something that someone can make?
There should be. Now, I don't shop in Vasselheim that often. My
Shop in Vassal. I'm
personal, how should I put this? My personal talents are not always welcome there. But
yeah, I understand what you're getting at.
But you might find something. We're close to the. She kind of like points to the city, like there's ports. They cater to everybody. I can't imagine you can't find something.
Okay.
A compass will probably be best.
Okay. Maybe if we have time to do a pit stop. I don't know. Dermot tinkers a lot.
Whatever you can do, I suggest it.
Well, thank you for not crashing us into the ocean.
You're welcome.
And hopefully, she kind of looks around the boat. She enjoyed this trip. This was very nice. We'll, I don't know. Hopefully we'll be able to flag you down for, maybe a, ride back.
Well, if we happen to cross paths again, I hope so too. Although, I'd appreciate your friends not tampering with my personal life.
I can't make any promises, honestly.
I assume so. But good luck with whatever you're doing out here.
Good luck with your air elemental problem.
Thank you.
Throws her crap over her shoulder. Okay.
At this point, you guys disembark the ship and you breathe in the very old Vasselheim air. As now you are distinctly much more far north. It is essentially, I would say, about like 3/4 winter up here.
Pretty much as soon as we step off the ship, Faraday shifts. It's almost involuntary. Like when the cold wind hits.
Faraday shifts, you say?
Faraday shifts.
Keep that in mind.
I like to keep you on your toes, sir.
Aha!
As Faraday is Sorry, guys.
Just telling Kuja that for Foundry, I'm gonna need 4 tokens.
Fuck you.
Wait, no, in Foundry, you can change your own token.
Oh, I can change my own token.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But no, as Faraday is doing that, Thurston just stands still, feeling the solid, unmoving earth under his feet for the first time in over a week, and he's like,
Life is good again. As you all disembark the ship, there are a few of the oh my god, I forgot their name. That's terrible. I should know this. I know that they have a particular name for the guard. Give me 2 seconds.
They are the something shields.
Bastion. The Bastion.
Is it the Bastions?
Yes. You can see a few representatives sort of approach as there are other, dock hands. This is very clearly not meant to be a consistently used airship dock, so there are like a few people who are a little put off that an airship had to land here. But they are working on securing the ship. About 3 of the Bastions approach. 2 of them actually...
I instinctively cast Disguise Self to make myself look like a dwarf.
Okay. 2 of these Bastions are presented themselves almost in true Viking barbarian sort of garb. So full furs. They've got the blue face paint that kind of goes down, big old beard. One of them is a human male with long red hair that's kept in several different braids. The third is still in a somewhat Norse vein style of dress, but they are wearing a set of armor with a dark cloak. And you can see around their neck is a raven skull. The one with the raven skull says, "Hail, I assume you are friends with the Taldore Council, yes?"
That is correct. And I reach out a hand and say, and you are?
My name is... God damn it, I had a list of names that I was going to use. Ah, there it is. Hogland.
He clasps the battle brother handshake.
I would advise treading carefully. I was informed that you... I don't know what accent this is going to go into. We're just going to go and see where it takes us. I would advise traveling safely and with caution. There have been disturbances in Isira recently.
Of what sort?
Walk with me, and we will discuss. And they turn, and you see the other Bastions acknowledge you with a nod. But they seem a little bit more on the gruff side, so they're not as one on ceremony. They lead you off of the port and into the city itself. Now, prior to this, Vasselheim is always sort of hustling and bustling with all sorts of activity. Whether it be people paying up, heading toward their temples, or getting ready for the fighting pits, or whatever. There's always something going on in Vasselheim. This, though, the streets, things seem a little tense. And as you are walking through, you can see that Hogland is taking you towards the... oh my god. I'm trying to remember the name of the goddamn main building, but taking you towards Silver Talon's Reach. Basically, you're approaching Heaven's Stair and the large building that is placed therein. And they say, "Recently, there was a bit of a disturbance. Some of the Slayer's Take had encountered something odd in Pyra. They had stated that one of their own had gone missing, and they had stumbled upon the disturbance with the entrance to the fireplane. They had eventually made their way back here, but that was not before they were assailed by some
fearsome beast out on the plains. They narrowly escaped with their lives, but the beast followed them here, and we had to put it down ourselves. And as they're saying this, you can see there are scorch marks making their way through some of the streets of the town. A lot of the buildings are of stone make. There's not a whole lot of, cloth or anything like that. It's this city is, built with some gusto. So the damage isn't too terribly severe, but there is a lot that you guys are passing through. This beast was felled, but this combined with the story that we heard from this small bit of the Slayer's take, it alerted the Dawn Marshals, and they are actually speaking right now. I was instructed to bring you into their meeting so that you may disclose whatever information you may have on whatever it is that is going on. I believe the magical lady, the one from the
Allura?
Thank you. Yes, I believe she had informed the Dawn Marshals of a very, very brief description of what it was you were doing here. The Dawn Marshals would like to hear from your mouths directly.
Well, I'm not sure what sort of additional information on this we could provide. We obviously have only just arrived in the city, but lead the way, I suppose.
I do apologize. Typically, we try to be more accommodating, but I was given specific orders.
I understand. Strange times
Can
and
I drop
strange
back?
circumstances.
Can I drop back and kind of talk to Arathea for a second and just say, has anything else been written in the book since last we've heard about Gilmore? It's been a while since we've checked.
Probably would have checked at some point along the route, but not since we got attacked by things. I will pull out the book just to, if any day.
You do see a message.
Oh shit.
2 words in that same writing.
Hmm?
Tick tock.
Just point to it, but not say anything. And then close it and put it back in her bag.
Ed keeps walking, but she just grips the handle of her sword very tightly.
As you continue forward, you see that you guys are passing by all manner of smaller buildings, small merchants, inns, taverns, that sort of thing. But as you get closer and closer to your destination, these smaller, more mercantile buildings start to lessen, and you are now essentially approaching the Platinum Sanctuary itself. This temple is old. It is beautiful. It is large. It is built into the heavens stair, as it sort of overlooks the city, as you guys are essentially ascending a little bit with your travel. As you do spot some other bastions that sort of eye you, particularly Arathea, and perhaps Zaziel, as you guys seem to be less arms and armory kind of people. Not making any assumptions, but you feel their eyes on you, hovering on you for just a quick, brief moment.
Should we dress up? Do you think? I bet Cad would loan us a sword. She's got 15.
It's actually true. I think she might have 15 now. I don't know if I could walk with one of those and not get it tangled up.
Yeah, I'd definitely probably end up stabbing myself.
Yeah.
So I'm walking, I'll unhook the belt loop I have on my thigh where my dagger is, and I just hand it to Arathea.
I have one of these though.
Make it seen. I'll hand the dagger to Thurston. You have to give that back, but you can borrow it for now.
Is this the fancy one? I don't want to be trusted with the fancy one. I think Jules packed a dagger somewhere in here. I can just
I'm
get
sure
that
that Jules packed you a dagger.
You could borrow Gladius.
Gladius weighs like.
I'm not worthy of such an honor.
Rhodes, high or low?
Oh, hi.
Okay, apparently I'm drunk, even though I haven't had anything to drink. Sorry.
Throw your fucking
Throwing my
dice.
dice everywhere.
I didn't choose floor.
The floor chose me. 99. You reach into the pack that Jules always provides you with, and sort of similar to Jules as a person, it always just seems to have whatever small knickknack thing you might need: an extra quill, an inkwell, some sheets of paper, that sort of thing. Reaching in, thinking, yeah, he's gonna have a dagger in here. You reach in and you pull out a very simple looking dagger that the metal in the center of the blade is black, and as it's hammered out and as it's shaped, it becomes more of a silvery color. So it's a fancy looking dagger, but it's a dagger.
Do I see
Where the
it?
heck did we get this?
Where'd you get
I'd say, given Thurston just kind of staring for a second, I'm just gonna assume you guys can see that little moment.
Is that a magical dagger?
I don't think you can see that glitter in here.
Oh, is that a glittery dagger?
Mako behind all of you goes, "Oh dear Christ."
Jesus Christ.
I don't think it impacts how well it stabs things.
Ooh, but it might do extra things. I'd love to test it out.
Okay, maybe not. Maybe we wait till after we have this meeting that we were not informed we would be having.
It's a meeting that we don't have time for. You saw it was written in the book.
Yeah, well, if someone had given us coordinates to go to directly, this wouldn't be such.
Well, what did you want me to say? Hey, give us the coordinates so we can
Yes!
fix the
In
hostage.
fact, she's gonna fucking write. She's pulling out the book because this guy is an asshole. And
I love that Arthea is definitely squabbling right now.
Yeah.
yeah, no, she's just, you know what? TikTok, okay, tell us where the fuck to go. And she's just gonna write in and be like, coordinates, question mark.
As you write that, you see the glow go across each pass of your quill, and for a split second, you're just thinking, "All right, hurry the fuck up. We got shit to do." And you swear, the moment you think that, the glow kind of goes a little faster. Couple moments go by, and then writing in a similar font. Give me just 1 second, because Cujo needs to look at a thing.
That's
While
not
Arthea's
very
writing
good
in the book, I'm gonna feed the little owl some jerky out of my pack because why not?
Get rid of. Oh yeah, that's right. No, I'm gonna get rid of everything.
Oh yeah, and I have
Tick.
my instructions to Tick right now are to remain in my breast pocket motionless.
With a little brooch.
I am capable of this, and then you just see it disappear inside Dermot's clothes. The writing actually starts kind of going a little weird as you see it's actually a very roughly hewn map that is being drawn. You see trees, you see the heavens stare, and you see that they start working on a mountain range that is to the northwest. This is the Thorain Tundra. And you see that they specifically highlight one particular mountain that is sort of in the middle of this range. And then below, you read coordinates here are foreign to me. But hopefully this helps. It's at this point that Hogland sort of gestures to the guards at the front of the Platinum Sanctuary, who turn and open the large double doors into the old stone building. You are led through a few larger hallways before coming upon a chamber once again holding or kept closed behind two double doors. The Hogland and the two Bastions turn to you all and say, the Dawn Marshals should already be inside. Just explain what's going on, and this should go relatively quickly. Any questions?
No, I suppose not.
You see that they turn and gesture towards a sort of wire thin looking man with a sort of like a notebook kept close to his chest. He's wearing some warmer robes given the climate of the area. He nods and he slips into the chamber. And a few moments later, the doors do sort of open to reveal this large, almost amphitheater-like chamber where you can see there are the flags representing the distinct faiths that comprise Vasselheim. Each looking a little weathered, possibly over time, but there is one that looks slightly newer, as it is the symbol of Sarenrae. It's a brilliant gold with the symbol of the Everlight on its finery. Positioned almost on these elevated podiums, you do see the Dawn Marshals. There is High Bearer Vord, who sits on his throne. You see Grun, Earthbreaker Grun, who sort of has a very simple sort of half stool, half just cube of stone that they are just perfectly fine sitting cross-legged in. You see Holy Curator Curtis Euleus, who has a more of a fancier chair, as they have just this pad of paper / notebook that's in their hand. They're wearing very fine robes. You see two twins seated in front of the heraldry for the Raven Queen. Nondescript features, wearing darker robes, each with the same raven skull. And then you see, seated in this little, almost dwarven Art Deco sort of style throne, one little gnome with white hair, with some armor on. She's not fully armed to bear, but one pike trickfoot sits along the rest of the Dawn Marshals. Give me just 1 second. I gotta have some sort of music here. It's gonna drive me nuts if I don't.
Open different. I need to open a different notebook.
As you all enter, the doors close behind you, and you can see that there are 4 bastions positioned at the door and 2 flanking each Dawn Marshal as they sort of welcome you in. High Bearer Vord speaks and says, "Word has reached our ears of a disturbance possibly connected to what is happening in Pyra as well as Vesra. This could very well be tied with the ill omen that one Allura Vysorin had communicated to us, with news that a party would be making their way here. We would ask that you enlighten us, as we are in the dark, as one might say."
I'll step forward and might you tell us What exactly Lord Isoran said in reference to this ill omen?
One of the Raven twins speaks. Lady Vysoren had stated merely that your mission was one of great importance as it pertained to the life of one Sean Gilmore, and also connected to the disturbances we have been experiencing.
And what disturbances are those?
Pyra's elemental plane of fire portal had erupted, causing multiple casualties, as the plane itself seemed... How do we put it? And you see that they turn towards the other one. Volatile. Elementals began pouring forth, causing many casualties. It was thanks in part to some of the Slayer's take and some of the druids within our city that we managed to quell the encounter. But since then, the portal has been unstable.
Look at Arthea and Thurston, because I was researching with them. We've experienced some disturbances ourselves, though no erupting fire plane portals. But in trying to research the subject extensively, we found information that talks about the planes falling out of alignment and some of the stars going out. And Sean Gilmore was helping us to investigate the problem. However,
Gone missing.
it seems that now he's gone missing. One of the inhabitants of these other planes seems to have gotten through and has taken him as a hostage.
The moment you say that, you can register there's this shift amongst them as you see High Bearer Vord looks over at Pike. And Pike just sort of leans forward. Okay.
There's one more thing. Everybody in Xandria knows the history of what happened here several years ago. The symbol of the Whispered One was associated with the person that took him.
You say that, and everybody. It's like saying the name of he who shall not be named in the Ministry of Magic. Everybody's behavior turns cold, and a bit of tension sets in. Pike does speak up. Well, we know of some followers of the Whispered One. I myself have dealt with a few. But the connection with Gilmore and the possible planes being out of alignment says that there's something deeper at work. Do you have any leads on where he is?
Northwest.
Sort of. I have a device, and I show them the cup. It's
Vord immediately kind of his face scrunches just a little bit, but he keeps himself composed.
It's a scrying device of sorts that I've been able to use to get a picture, if incomplete, of the area that he might be.
Somewhere northwest of here from we've been able to gather.
It's
Somewhere
not-
in the mountains.
It's a specific mountain. And she'll fumble and pull out the crude but still functional map that she has. And who's the closest person of those in this room?
Of the Dawn Marshals, they are pretty equidistant, but Pike actually is the one to step up.
Okay.
And approach.
So she'll walk over and just kind of fold it back and show that. I don't know what it is. It seems like a large high peak of some kind.
From what some some hunters have told me, typically there's just some frost giants up there. Typically nothing of any significance. And you see she kind of like reaches up and kind of like holds the journal so she can see a little bit more. Says, there is another thing. There was a break-in the Cobalt Vault.
Arthea actually probably says that.
We don't want to make assumptions, but there was arcane magic at work, and some of us, and she says that with a little bit of spite while kind of looking over her shoulder, believe that it might have actually been Gilmore that was responsible.
What went missing?
Some book? And she says, she looks back to Curtis Eulius as he says, yes, it was a manuscript, old. One Enrin Drikier, I believe, was the author.
Oh, Gilmore. Why the hell?
We have the first two halves of that manuscript.
Why?
Because it's got information directly to do with the planes and what's happening here.
With High Bearer Vord's permission, I would delight in borrowing those manuscripts so that we may be more appraised of what seems to be occurring.
Has anyone read the piece that is now missing?
High Bearer speaks up and says, no. Wait, no, that wasn't the voice. No. I had to catch myself there. No, we rarely delve into the vault of the Cobalt Soul, if only for personal safety and avoiding any undue interactions with any arcane subjects that might lie within.
Has anyone at the Cobalt Soul read it? Or the Vault? Soul? Vault.
That you would have to speak with the Cobalt Soul.
Oh, I intend to.
The charge does, for the moment, stand. We have several of our bastions who did report that someone matching Gilmore's description did leave the Cobalt Soul at the very time that this object went missing.
And this was approximately how long ago?
God damn it. Cujo needs to remember the time and shit.
It's been about 8 weeks.
About 7 weeks ago.
So
We are keeping a close eye on some who may have been involved with aiding in this theft. But they have not been very forthcoming with information.
Who would have aided in this? Gosh, who even could?
Either way, we need to find Gilmore more than ever now.
Yes, he must answer for his charge.
Uh, might I inquire? I wish to be only respectful of the culture and ways here, but in understanding that there may be elements at play that are far beyond what we are typically accustomed to, uh, perhaps we should review the charges. And this may sound selfish, but charges that we ourselves could be brought up against as well. We have only the best intentions, but some of us, our means are only ones of which you would frown upon. But to not use those means could risk the safety of an umpteen amount of lives I am uncomfortable risking.
Make me a persuasion check.
26.
You see Vord, he kind of narrows his eyes, but not in a offensive or negative way, just sort of thinks to himself. And Pike sort of speaks up and says, while Highbearer Vord ponders that very smart point, as it stands, given Vasselheim's culture, the charges right now for Gilmore, after a complete confession, would be complete exile from Asira as a whole. That is, at least what I believe, is a suitable punishment for liberating an artifact out of the Cobalt Soul without their approval. That being said, we may...
Would those charges be lessened if the artifact were returned?
Yes. I'm sure we can, and Pike looks at all of the other Dawn Marshals with that, knowing look. Just, I'm sure we can come up with something of a compromise. Curtis Euleus speaks once again and says, we believe that they were spending some time with that he was spending some time with the leader of the Slayer's Take at one point. Again, our bastions managed to clock somebody hooded and cloaked, but mysterious, heading into the Slayer's Take one night. This was about 8 weeks ago, 1 week before the manuscript had gone missing. We had sent some bastions to investigate, and the leader of the Slayer's Take was rather tight-lipped. But without any pure evidence of any connection, we haven't been able to pursue it.
While I understand the severity of what Gilmore has done, you must understand that this document could only help us to figure out what's going on and possibly prevent it. Bad things have been happening, and if the plane's going out of sync, things are only going to get more dangerous. People are being killed.
Getting more dangerous, actually?
They are, yes.
I mean, and I know this, I guess, may not apply to most in this room, but translocation magic is failing. At least the long distance type.
Both us and Lady Vysoren were nearly stuck in the other plane because the teleportation struggled to get us just from Western to Amon, which is an easy travel from Myers.
High Bearer Vord just sort of speaks and says, well, if I were a practitioner then, I would recommend conventional travel from now on.
An understandable recommendation, but even in taking a skyship here, we were attacked by a group of air elementals. The planes being out of sync are not just throwing off those of arcane ability, they pose a risk of just random anomalies attacking those who may not be able to defend themselves.
Not random, I don't necessarily. I think so far, perhaps, it seems to be most pronounced at places that are already weakened. So your portal, Pyra, Vesra. I would assume there are other locations where maybe that veil is a bit thinner.
The twins of the Raven Queen both sort of whisper amongst each other, and then one of them does speak to Vord. This does match up with other intelligence that we have received. And Vord. Then your task will be unimpeded by the Dawn Marshals. Whatever support you will need, you may have. However, given the state of Pyra and Vesra, we are already sending out as many bastions as we can to supply additional security, supplies, recovery efforts. I cannot supply you with any in addition, and you can see that they glance at Pike, who is glaring right back. Cannot supply you with any additional companions, but should you need any supplies on your journey, then you shall have them.
And if we need to use the means at our disposal in order to protect ourselves and secure the return of Sean Gilmore and the artifact, that would be, I hope, acceptable in exchange.
You see that there is this weight in the room in this moment. And again, Vord looks at Pike, who's just kind of giving the, yeah, say it. Any use of arcane magics to safely retrieve Sean Gilmore and the manuscript and return it safely will not go with any scrutiny.
Thank you for your understanding.
I do believe, though, however, that Curtis is onto something. We would very much like to observe these two pieces of the manuscript that you already have in your possession. If only because if Sean Gilmore has indeed been captured by somebody from this other plane, and if this manuscript is connected with this, should you all be apprehended, they must be kept safely here.
It's the underplane, and as far as we can tell, there's some place out in the middle of the Osmit Sea that is directly connected to all of this. And while we understand that you cannot supply any more troops or assistance and aid, we have brought at least one more colleague with us to help with that, and I kind of gestured to Mago. We would very much appreciate some means of transportation.
Vord looks past you all and glances at Mako, who just does this. Whatever transportation needs you have will be met.
Moving swift.
And I am sure horses or something similar will be more than sufficient.
And perhaps some cold weather clothes. I don't know that what we have will suffice against.
I thought we already bought like 7 or 8 sets of cold weather
I
clothes.
don't remember, to
Yeah,
be
we
honest
bought-
with you.
We've
Yeah,
already
you
got
bought us all
packs.
clothing.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Imagine they're in the bag of holding, and she's like, "I don't know what's in this thing. I just carry it around."
We just put stuff in there, honestly.
Thurston could put like his whole wardrobe, and Cat probably wouldn't even realize it.
He has actually done
you
that.
joke
It's
that he hasn't
probably
done that
already in there. Yeah.
You can't go home right now.
It will be arranged. Do you intend to leave immediately?
I mean, we
Joe,
need to
what time of day is it?
At this point, given the trek through the city, it's approaching sunset.
Um,
In the morning.
if it had been earlier in the day, I would see no reason not to set out immediately. Although, given the approaching late hour, it might behoove us to set out first thing in the morning.
If that is the case, then we shall arrange for stay. We will arrange for rooms for you at the Midnight Breath Tavern. It is in the Abundant Terrace. It should be supplied enough to ensure your good rest before you begin your journey.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Indeed.
You've been more than kind.
We should let them keep the manuscript safe. I would hate to see what happens if
I don't want to bring it with us anyway.
if
I don't
whoever has
Uh,
Gilmore gets all 3 pieces. I fear what would happen.
It's no, I don't. I'm much more comfortable leaving it here. I've copied what I need from it, and I can remember the rest.
Paint a portrait. Cad and I are in complete agreement there.
Like, there's actually like a little halo, like things start to glow. There's that music in the background.
Like that, stop doing magic.
We shall send a representative from the Cobalt Soul to come and collect your 2 pieces. Given that these are not official artifacts to be registered within the vault, they will merely be kept safe upon your return and returned to you. I assume you would most likely do well speaking with some of the Cobalt Soul when you do have your 3rd piece. Perhaps they can help you sort out whatever hidden information lie within.
Thank you.
It's much appreciated.
This hearing is adjourned. May the gods bless your travel.
Actually,
And yours as well,
before
wherever it may be.
Go ahead, Arthur.
No, it's fine. She was gonna wait for Dermot. Oh, okay. Just to bring it back to the gods. My talents obviously lie toward the arcane, but I'm familiar with history. I'm familiar with the events of the Calamity. The Divine Gate protects the material plane, correct?
One of the Raven twins speaks up and says, "Yes, it is designed to keep the Pantheon away from the material plane."
Just the material plane, though.
You see that their brows furrow for a moment. They confer. Yes. Yes, it was the material plane that they had prized so much and was where the calamity had occurred. So the Divine Gate was constructed to preserve its safety.
So if there were another plane intersecting with this one, overwriting it.
You see the twin, both of their brows kind of furrow. Well, the Divine Gate is said was constructed by mages in Exandria. If what you're referring to is this underplane, I don't know that it would have the same security that Exandria does.
Seems to go along with what's been happening with the teleportation rooms.
And everything else. It's just something that occurred to me on the way over, that a lot of what we do and a lot of how this world works is based on very specific fundamental laws. If those laws don't apply, a certain amount of chaos might start spilling through.
The chaos that we hope to avoid, says Vord, looking pointedly at Thurston, but not disrespectfully. Now then, we must return to our respective abodes. Hogland, and you see that one of the doors open, and Hogland peeks his head in. Yes. See them to the Midnight Breath Tavern, and let the innkeep know that the rooms will be paid for by the Dawn Marshals of Vasselheim. He says, it will be done. You see the door, they open the door a little bit and sort of gesture for you all to follow.
So we walk out. I kind of I'll grab my Raven Queen pendant and I'll give a bit of a bow to the two representatives from the temple.
They give the very same bow right back to you. You all are led out of the room and towards the front door, but not before you hear the shuffling, teeny little feet as running from the room towards you is the Dawn Marshal of Sarenrae, Pike. He says, wait. Can you promise me something?
Within our power.
Of course.
Bring him back alive. He meant a lot to me and my friends, and it's taking everything in me to not join you, but I have responsibilities here. I can't leave. But just promise me you'll bring him back alive.
Would we be able to deduce that Pike is one of the folks from Vox Machina that Gilmore and Alora have been?
I will say I think Arathea was reading Tarian's book, right?
At one point, yes, she was.
Okay.
She was reading.
I will say that
Passed it on to
possibly
others.
through that book being passed around, you know that Pike Trickfoot is a member of Vox Machina.
You're one of the ones that fought against him the last time, aren't you? Gilmore didn't want to worry you. He said that all of you deserved a good rest.
Yes, well, by doing so, he's made it 10 times worse by getting himself captured. And trust me, when you bring him back alive, I plan to kill him myself, but until then, promise me you'll keep him safe.
We'll do our best. Please. Gilmore cares very much about you. I had a chance to speak with him privately at one point, and he he didn't want to involve you out of love for you and your group. So he would be worried if he knew how worried you feel.
Well, she kind of peeks, and only Hogland and the two bastions are around, and she says, "Okay, well, maybe this will help. It'll last you about a week." She clutches her symbol of Sarenrae. She says, "May I take your hand?" And she grasps it, and you can feel this warmth as the light emanating from her symbol grows brighter and brighter, and her hair almost starts floating as just this divine energy surrounds you. Please travel safely. Maybe this will protect you from harm. You can see the light fades, and you can see she's a little taxed. You can go ahead and mark that you have the effect of Shield of Faith on you for 1 week.
Damn.
Anyway.
And I'll give Pike as deep of a bow as I can, considering that she's a gnome, and just like out of reverence, and just say, I promise that we'll do everything we can to keep him safe. I only hope that it's enough. And thank you.
Thank you all. And she gestures to all of you. I have to get back to my temple. But please, when you return, come straight here with him.
You have him banished from an entire continent now.
Don't worry about that. I'll work on it. They won't be that mad as long as we just get everything put back the way it was, right?
I don't think we're the best to speak about that. All of Singor is mad at us right now.
They literally shifted into another plane.
Enemies of Singorn and all.
Well, if I know anything about Singhorn, they're a bunch of buttholes.
Yeah.
She says that with a proud nod.
It's pretty accurate.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
No, we should not be rude.
Marthia, they wanted to put you in jail just because you're a Paladin elf. They're a bunch of buttholes. And I'll loop my arm through hers and be like, we should go.
Travel safely.
Thank you.
You all are led out of the Platinum Sanctuary, and just for the sake of time, you are escorted through to the Abundant Terrace, which is devoted to the worship of the goddess Melora. So you are noticing much more vegetation and beautiful, beautiful gardens sort of lining the streets as you walk through. Not necessarily like going into like a hedge maze or anything where it's very clean cropped and all that. This is just very naturally allowed to just exist and grow. You all are led through, and you can see that it is still wintertime, but there is still a canopy of trees that still prevents some of the cold breeze from chilling you to the bone as much as it should. You are led to a actually, hold on. Okay, cool. Great. Thanks, Wiki. The co-owner of the tavern, played by Matthew Mercer. That is the best description ever. Thanks for that. That's fine. When the new book comes out, I'm sure this will all be explained thoroughly. But anyway, you are led to a I don't want to say rustic-looking building, but it's definitely not one that's a little bit more like on the shinier side of things. This is very much a more naturally built structure. It's got 2 floors, and you are led inside, where you speak with Dagon. Dagon is we're going to go dwarven male. Balding head, no beard. Says, "Oh, yeah, I'll be right. I'll get the rooms ready right away," and they rush off. And that is where we're gonna call tonight's session. Yay!
Yay!
Mystery abound. Yes,
Just wants to make sure he's not going to get arrested.
Seriously. Like, we can't afford another place.
I ain't got time for that.
We are running out of cities that we can walk through without
We've
being
only
attacked.
gotten in
Accosted.
trouble in
Yeah, but like, there's also the accosted part.
there.
Place.
True.
Like, we can also. Allura really told us not to try not to cause a political. Like,
We were perfectly
can.
respectful in there.
If it's
you can.
possible.
I just like that it was like, okay, so I'm gonna let you guys go, but could you like try not to just completely foul up international relations?
Just
We were just granted diplomatic immunity. We're good.
I mean,
And I
if
have a
group
plus
of...
2 to my AC for a whole week now. That's badass.
Mhm.
I was thinking of something that Pike, being an epic level character at this point, would have access to. And I mean, Shield of Faith is a pretty badass spell, but I was like, feel like she'd have a means of extending that. So
That's awesome.
congratulations.
Thank you. Thanks, Spike. I love you.
That means the shit's gonna hit even harder.
That's my best Ashley Johnson playing Pike impression I could come up with. I
That
hope
was
it works.
good.
An impression of somebody doing an impression.
Yeah, that's the main reason I have not like directly done any Vox Machina appearances. Is like I can't follow that shit. But that being said, to anybody who tuned in, thank you so much. We love you. Be nice to each other, and we will see you next week for more Decisions and Dragons.
Good night, interwebs.
Bye.
Bye.